You said 2 minutes forward, 5 minutes ago, mother.
Look. Swatch internet time activate.
Boop. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which,
Hi, hello. Ooh, something ain't right.
Whoop.
Something's just a little off. I don't know what it is.
Uh-oh. Refresh.
Okay, I fixed it. It just needed to be more big and big-end. I don't know.
You just had to jiggle the cables.
I did. Just jiggle it. Jiggle the
S video cable. It'll get itself together.
Not the S video cable.
I told you not to touch that coaxial.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Marcus Evers Major Linux, aka the Grandmaster of IT, aka your favorite streamer's favorite IT guy. And it's time once again for another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for May 18th, 2023. Of course, I'm joined this week and every week by the most sweatiest, cozy streamer on the planet.
I am.
Kevin Kev, aka it's your boy Kevin the building.
In the building. You're right. That is exactly me. I'm the sweatiest, cozy person out here. I'm cozy AF.
Yeah, those are two things I would not expect to see together. Cozy and then as fuck.
That's me. That's me saying I'm cozy AF and I'm wholesome AF. That is my motto, my monochrome, my raison d'etre.
A brand, if you will.
That's right.
A cohesive marketing strategy, if you must.
That's right.
And of course, a marketing extraordinaire, apparently. The quickest dresser in the West, the East, the North, and the South, aka the East Coast Merge.
Get that code quick.
Look, if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready
Ain't never
for
lied.
the nippy nips of the cold air. Sinziak is in the building.
Hello.
And that's right, Merge has no lies detected. West Coast Sin says no lies detected. Gentlemen, how are you all today?
You know something? So far, so good. We're working on things. We're finishing books. We're picking up on new habits. We love it here.
Fair to middling. I'm also a combination of fighting City Hall and apparently fighting a small lawnmower repair business as well. So we'll have to see how them fights go.
Why are you fighting City Hall?
Well, they talking real crazy about not picking up like tree materials, and I'm like, oh, so y'all pick up everything else, but y'all don't want to pick up a measly tree that could fit in the truck, but I gotta pay y'all to then pay it, and now y'all can't do it after y'all done charged us $200 the first time. Tried to charge us $200 to fix it.
I've sent you this song from Rocco's Modern Life.
Yep. It's like, y'all got to take it to the same place to burn it, but y'all can't burn a little extra? What are you talking about? So yeah, that's kind of what we got to deal with. Now if I called like Slewfoot Slip and Slide to carry this off, and they dropped it in the front of City Hall, you ain't got nothing. You shouldn't have nothing to say then, now do you?
Kept coming for you. Don't fuck with him.
I'm not the one. I'd be like, it's between me and my mama, and we both not having yours.
Kev is not one to be fucked with.
That part, skip out. But yeah.
Damn, that's a throwback. Also, I'm mad that the account that it's posted on is called Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
Oh, the way I'm cackling.
So many things don't seem right by this, but you know.
Ain't by City Hall, but I'm gonna try.
Ruin, aren't you IT? Like, what are you doing?
I need help. But ain't you IT? But who gonna help me?
Who gonna help me in these streets? So am I.
Mm-hmm. I ain't never been off the clock. I'm on call every day. That's what happened when you're self-employed.
I mean, we can say all of these things, but yeah, I'm off the clock. I'm off.
Mm-hmm.
Clocked out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the grandmaster, but look, sometimes the grandmaster needs rest.
He said Grandmaster is out to pasture at this moment in time. Thank you so much for playing.
Wow, out the pat. That just sounds like he dead.
He's dead to y'all. We tired.
You said you the grandmaster. I ain't even. I'm just a dude.
We are tired and retired. Okay,
that part.
Do not.
I may not be tired physically, but I'm tired emotionally, spiritually, and
wow,
and mentally.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Mentally, I just want to curl up in this bed, look at TikToks. That's all.
I would do that too, but I need sleep.
Yeah,
I've been doing the TikTok game about 2 nights in a row. It's just not great.
That's what I call the sad boy hours.
It feels like sad boys. Oh my God, why is Element still sending me notifications? I closed that fucking out. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I be firm and affixed in my sad boy hours.
Not firm and affixed.
Firm and affixed in the sad boy hours. And sometimes I'll be like, I'm in the sad boy hours. I see a video and I'm like, well, damn, now I got to get up and cut some lights on because I got to make a video on this. Damn it.
So is that why half your videos is like you laying in bed, just chill?
Sad boy hours. Exactly.
See, I've learned lessons. That's why I don't tweet at those hours or post anything. Because it's like, you don't want those thoughts. Nobody needs or wants those thoughts.
I mean, them thoughts are gonna happen the way whether you want them or not. I'm just letting you know.
Look, they need to stay inside. Those are like, you know what? Maybe I should keep them to myself. That was back when Kanye tweeting wasn't as bad as it became.
Oh Lord.
They were problematic, but they were like, yo, take it easy.
It's like remember when you said slavery was a choice? We would love to get back to those days again. We couldn't pay for them. We couldn't pay not to get back to them days again. That man said slavery was a choice, and we were like, oh, that was the worst thing he ever said. And my man said, no, give me a couple more years. I got worse.
Let me get banned and let me get back on here again. I'm gonna get so bad. I'm gonna get so bad. Muskie must gonna worry about me. Like, damn.
All fun
Damn,
games.
dog.
It's all funny games until you get out musked.
Oh, not that. My Lord. Please. Lord spare us.
Speaking of Musk, in this week's episode of Tech Talk Thursdays, we've got more Musk Power Hour. Because of course, after taking just like a month off, he's back at it yet again. Somebody gave him more of a platform to open his fucking mouth, and that's what he did.
Well, I cackle too, because it's like, so y'all just really just think this man has a lot to say. Okay.
Wendy's is still acting even more out of pocket.
Wendy's.
In the EU.
Dear Wendy's, use the meme. This is a Wendy's.
Wow.
This is a Wendy's.
In the EU has been giving us gifts from Microsoft. All that and more in this week's episode of Tech Talk Thursdays.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. Because we start off this week with some tech news. Oh, there we go. a little bit of bad news. Of course, we were celebrating last week the second Google and Apple collaboration with the AirTags. Well, some of us were. Others were like, this should not be a thing at all. Oh my God, this is terrible. Oh, excuse me. Jeez. Sunkiss.
You okay?
Sunkiss just got me gassy.
Sunkiss is sun kicking his ass.
It is. Whew.
Kevin, what was that? Why?
That was funny.
He stumbled to the finish. He got there. He took some bruises, some bumps and bruises, some scrapes along the way.
Be like, yeah, my comedy is like, hold on, wait a minute. Sun kicked his ass. There we go. By that. I may not get there on time, but when I get there, I get there.
The car exploded and he passed the finish line just in the seat.
Yep.
Holding on to a steering wheel.
I'm an on-time comedian. I might not get there when you want me, but I will in fact be there, right?
It's that
on time.
It's that end race of Speed Racer where it's literally the Mach 5 is skidding on its nose to the end and coolant is falling out and Speed is like and they have to drag him out of the car. That is me. That is me. That is my comedy.
Lord help us all.
Look, why are we saying Wendy's and D-Brand trigger me? I just don't like D-Brand's marketing, and I just don't like that Wendy's is putting people out of jobs. That's all.
What do you mean D-Brand?
Their marketing is just
I don't know who D-Brand is. When you said D-Brand, I was just do you mean that someone was branded at some point and decided to unbrand themselves? Like they no longer have a brand? They're just like an egg profile photo? No, it took me a second.
Yeah, they do covers and cases and stuff. And I'm like,
Okay, so as I was saying, yeah. As most of us were celebrating the latest collaboration between Google and Apple last week, this week we see the end of the first. Most states have halted use of Google and Apple's COVID-19 exposure notification system. Which I get why that happened. I think what I would like to see, and I guess not a lot of people would because of the amounts of data collection can come with this, is if they expanded this and say, hey, did you get the flu? You should let people around you know that you caught the flu or any other communicable disease. That way, you know, people can also go to doctor and seek treatment.
Because what I want to say is, much like everything else on this show, and I wrote this, it was a post I made today on Mastodon, not knowing that we were going to have this article to talk about. So if you're on Mastodon, you could have read this today. But
I was, and
a thing of being like, hey, listen, I love the idea because Major is a person who is just kind of like, let me think about how to use technology to do more good in the world. Unfortunately, people who have the means and the resources to control what happens with that technology do not have good intentions for people. So it's like one of those that could be useful for doing things, but they will not use it that way, or they will somehow manage to turn this into, but what if we, we could do this, we could advance science, we could keep people healthier. What if we made it marketing though?
What if we used it to make money?
So of course, here comes me saying, yeah, I'm looking at the good of this.
I know, and I made sure to note that at the beginning of my statement because I'm learning to see and understand where you were coming from with things. And it is my very unfortunate position to have to be the cynic who goes, but we live in capitalism and these people are gonna be bitch asses.
Yeah, and so that's when I bring shit up like this, like especially the good things I see, is like I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna look at sin immediately. I'm just gonna look at sin immediately. Ruin it. Just go ahead and ruin it for me today.
whenever Major says a thing, I just need y'all to imagine if I were doing that on the show. It's just me with a slow shake of the head and a tear rolling down my cheek because I'm like, Major, but you're not in charge of these things, and that's why it's not going to happen. It's going to be people who have more money than they have good sense or care or empathy for other people.
I mean, like,
so, until one day that it isn't, and this is why you should be getting your services from Major's house.
Unfortunately, I don't do COVID contact tracing, so there's that.
I mean, not today, but
when would I ever provide that?
Not yet.
Oh boy. Setting some expectations here.
Listen, I'm like, if you're the person who wants to do a good thing, so whatever a good thing can be done, I'm just gonna be like, I mean, you know, I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying you have to do it, but like maybe you could.
Okay. But yeah, like for one, I can see why they turned it off, mainly because like, hey, this is a virus we know nothing about that is spreading. Let's find some way to try to trace it and keep people notified if they catch it, because at the time, with no type of vaccine or any type of treatments, this can be very, very deadly. So let's get something out there that can help trace it. Now that we have the vaccines, now that we have the medicines to kind of combat this, to where as people wanted you to believe at the beginning in January of 2020, it's like the flu. Now that it is literally like the flu, which again can still kill you, they don't see this as much of a lot of states don't see this as much of a need as it was at the beginning.
Also, not for right, we're gonna put out here, not for nothing, that there was a whole set of health infrastructure that was made to manage this that they now just get to charge people for, to the tune of at least $150 at a minimum.
I mean, yeah. Welcome to America. Oh, wait. No, I have a button for this.
Capitalism. Why can't you just give it to me?
But yeah, so I turned on my Samsung, I turned on my Galaxy S22 Plus the other day, and that one apparently had California's notification set up. So I got a notification saying, hey, California's turning it off. I'm like, what now? Wait, what? Are you sure? No, why would you do that? And then my iPhone.
I'm trying my hardest not to say unfortunate things that I'm thinking at this moment.
And then my iPhone had Colorado's on it. And then, so then like a couple of days later, I get a notification from Colorado, like, yeah, we're turning ours off. Like, but, oh, okay, I see what's happening here. Yeah. So yeah, if you were still participating in contact tracing for COVID-19, yeah, looks like your options are limited, if not non-existent.
So, much like we already knew, like barely a year into a thing that took us 2 years to even remotely feel like we got a handle on, mostly because of terrible management of messaging for public health reasons and mismanagement of most of how this was handled in general. Y'all are out here fending for yourselves. Act accordingly.
So, okay, now I held off putting this online before I could actually speak it. For a number of reasons. And I'm gonna put it here, and I'm hoping that what I say will be taken in good faith. Because I am not one to sit there and say wild shit without, like just to stir a pot, right? But seeing as that we do have remedies and ways to kind of mitigate the worst of it for most people, which I know is definitely a terrible thing to say, is a lot of the things that we're looking at with COVID-19 somewhat overblown, because nobody acted like this to this extent with other easily communicable diseases, or especially viruses like the flu?
So there's a lot to be said about things like this. One of them being like, something, I would imagine if I were me at this time, knowing the things that I know about the world around me and stuff, and the flu had just randomly emerged out of nowhere, and we had never experienced it before, and they built a whole bunch of public health infrastructure to deal with it, and then those things would appear, I would react the same way, because the baseline of my logic, right, is the following. Hey, this is a thing that's terrible. This is a thing that numbers were handled very poorly for because y'all changed the way it counted however many times. But more importantly, there's still a need for this. And you know that there's still a need for this. But the difference between before today and whatever this thing is going away and the future is people having access to things, people being able to afford things, and the hoops that people have to jump through in order to just have, to not have over concerns about their health. Things like, hey, every now and then, we're going to just send you these tests that you can have at home so that if you need to know, hey, did I catch this or not? Or do I have these symptoms and things?
Mm-hmm.
You can have those things. If you go to a CVS or a Target or any place that has a pharmacy and you go, hey, I need to get tested for this because it's important for me to know that I have it, whether or not I do, so I don't communicate this to other people. They were just like, sure, we got that on the government's tab. And then the government went, while we can bail out, Silicon Valley Bank, we certainly could not do this for citizens in the name of public health, because that's a bridge too far. It's those things that I'm considering about this. I am in a place of being like, there is a way that we built things that were able to care for more people than we normally do in a situation. And I would like to see that expanded to other things, but you didn't. You took those things away. You're taking away the access that people have to a lot of things, because most of it is, do you have enough money to pay for this? Do you have good enough health insurance to pay for this? Some people do, and some people don't. We know that a lot of people over here are living below the poverty line in most places in the country, So
I think my issue is with what's being said. Again, because I'm not arguing against having these protections still existing.
Mm-hmm.
I think my issue is how people are phrasing it by keep referencing COVID. If they said COVID, flu, fuck it, the common cold. Like Merc says, if it was the culture of when you are sick, stay the fuck home.
Right.
Then I'd be on board. So you know what? Yes, let's keep this going. Why are they taking shit away?
Right.
But it's so many people who are only tying it to COVID. And just how my brain works. It's like, well, now that you're tying it to just COVID, you're forgetting about everything else that we had to deal with before. So it's either, you talk about everything or shut up about just COVID, because it's starting to get to a point where, and I've noticed and I'm going to speak on the two-party system political spectrum.
Right.
Not the, hey, our leftists and democratic socialists or our libertarians on the other side, but just Democrats and Republicans. The way they do things, it's like a fucking scale. One day it's Republicans canceling everybody in sight, and then it's the liberals canceling everybody in sight. And it's like, y'all both sound the fucking same, and it's really annoying. But yeah, for me, it's like with COVID, a lot of folks are starting to sound like, a lot of the liberals who are concerned about COVID are starting to really sound like what the Republicans made them sound like at the beginning. So, okay, do you care about COVID, or is this really theater for you? Because all you seem to care about is COVID, when again, the flu fucking exists. We had the lowest flu season during the pandemic because everything we did for COVID also, I don't know, worked for the flu.
Yep.
Like, I think
But it doesn't seem like y'all care about that part. It's only COVID.
Well, like, the thing is, for a lot of people, that's the stuff that they have to grab onto, because here's the thing, Major. Let's do this. If I had told you a year ago, hey, just for the sake of dealing with things like pollen season, general flu and cold season, we should start wearing masks in general. We already have like examples of cultures in the world that do that. Public health over there for those seasons does pretty well. What if we did that here?
I don't know, Japan kind of collapsed, but sure.
I mean, there's like, what would the response have been? And therein the point. It's y'all have like a thing over here that you can see is immediately dangerous that you haven't completely inured yourself to yet. So we have to deal with this, because if I tell you, hey, here are the other things that this would also prevent. Here are things that would also be helpful for you to consider when you're in the middle of doing this. You're just like, okay, but we've had to deal with this stuff for years and we haven't had to wear masks for that. And that's the thing that people thing that people do.
It's the whole, I think what Merge had, touched on is the whole, like, we not having to deal with, we've gone through cold and flu seasons. We've gone through allergy seasons, spring colds and whatnot. And we've gone through we've gone through pandemics before with H1N1. And it's to the point of what could have been good if we'd had people in charge that actually gave a crap about it and also said, hey, here's this thing coming about. Let's listen to the people who know, who have dealt and have the knowledge and foresight to deal with pandemics, as opposed to then just shutting them out and not believing the science and then being like sunlight and disinfectant,
right?
Hydrochloroquine. And if we'd have just been like, okay, let's actually take this seriously, and had proper leadership to take it seriously, I don't know how many people would have survived by just, and again, you're not going to get everybody on board, but you could at least get majority of the people on board by literally saying, hey, COVID should never be public. It should never be my body, my rights when it comes to not wearing a mask or not taking a vaccine.
Well, I mean, they were already doing that. Political. They were already doing that with children's vaccines and what caused autism. Right,
and as you've seen, we still had outbreaks. We still had outbreaks of measles. We had outbreaks of polio.
Yeah, like let's not forget that made like the slightest reemergence for a second, and we were just like, how far back in time did we actually go?
We've had HIV outbreaks. We've had these outbreaks before, but they were always localized with people who just decided that religion also denounces governmental policy, and we all laughed and pointed at them because of that. But now it's like on the federal level, it became a problem, and we just started seeing people going left, right. Like, I lost a cousin to COVID because of the same way. Didn't believe it, didn't believe the science. He passed. I'm sad about that.
Right. So like my argument is, so what I'm saying is like, again, not against still wearing masks. I'm all for that. Mm-hmm. For those who feel like that's what helps them, what's what protects them. Especially if we're looking at the science of, hey, masks are meant to protect other people, not protect me from you.
Right.
So like, yes, if you are sick and you have to go out, wear a mask. If you're not sick, you properly vaccinated, I don't necessarily think you have to, because you wearing a mask, if somebody else is sick, is not going to save your life, right? Whether you think it is or not.
Because I could have something bad that might not be good for you.
But the what I'm saying is that when people are making those arguments about masks, about a lot of these protections going away, they're only referencing COVID.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
which seems weird to me.
Is the issue here just like a phrasing issue then?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It was only a phrasing issue, because again, it's a thing of like, you only say COVID, but honestly, this would work with a myriad of other things. Say that, because if you are only, to me, if you're only saying COVID, you really only care. It's like you're only still trying to drum up fear about COVID, not about public health. Because if you actually cared about the public health aspect of it, you would say, hey, if you were sick with the flu and you had to leave your house, you too should wear a mask.
Yep.
If you have, are feeling sick for reasons, maybe don't leave your house.
I guess here's my question. With respect, who are these people?
Yeah, so you should take a look at, if you follow enough people on Mastodon, take a look at your federated timeline every once in a while.
Well, for one, I don't. I follow like 10 people because the thing is, in the circles I run in, the answer to your question, ultimately, okay, there's some, there are points about this and the way that it's presented that I'm just like, okay, I have some fine points that I take some issue with, but overall it's you're not wrong. We should do it for those things. And most of the people in the spaces that I'm in with the way that I've curated stuff are all on the same page of being like, when someone just goes, well, if you think this about COVID, then you should think this about pollen season and flu season. And every person that I know is just like, yes, correct.
Yeah, so I guess that's
I'm with Verge on that.
If I'm sick, I'm sick, I'll stay home. Yeah.
It's just I tell people not to come over here. When I had a brief spat with COVID and had to deal with that. And it was one of those things we didn't even need a test. We already knew. I felt like I was swallowing nails. Anyway, when I did that, I was in my house and masked to go from upstairs to downstairs and bleached everything whenever I left the room. Mm-hmm. And I told my roommates, you don't see me and I don't see you. I don't exist. Don't even talk to me about the mail. Nothing. Pretend I am that I have horns and extra eyes and tentacles. You don't want to see me.
And that was the same thing when I caught it, and with my family, both my wife and I had it, but just to make sure we didn't bounce it from each other, we just stayed on different floors.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think the thing is, I don't for the. Sorry to these people if these are the people that you're running into, but I don't. But yeah,
it's the federated timeline of Mastodon where people are always talking about just COVID. It's like, yo, there's more than just COVID we could be protecting against, but y'all still talking about COVID. Y'all starting to sound like Republicans and Second Amendment rights here. Y'all kind of trying to. To me, it feels like fear mongering, but.
I think it also does and comes about that the fact that COVID, was like the literal slathering beast that was around us every single minute of every part of a day, and to the point and to see people die and to hear the stories of people dying and never really being able to have the closure and having to say goodbye to their loved ones on FaceTime. That was our norm. That was our lives for the last 3 years. And here we are coming out of the fog that is COVID. It's kind of it's still kind of sort of people's, thing, because it has been that bad. And it has been that bad. It has ruled our lives.
And I'm willing to say that, it could be just me looking at this from a pure, cold, logical standpoint. I didn't have to deal with a lot of that. And it is unfortunate that people did.
Yeah.
And that may be where this is coming from. Again, I'm not wishing ill will, not trying to be the asshole, the dick to anybody who is, but to me, just from a logical standpoint, when I am looking at things objectively, it's are you just fear mongering about COVID, or do you really care about public health? Because if you did, you would mention these other things, but you are only talking COVID, and this just seems
because I was definitely of the mindset of I don't care if you have it, I don't care if you hadn't got a COVID shot, get your ass a flu shot, because if you thinking that COVID ain't no big deal, flu is still out there, wilding around too, trying to get his lick too.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll mention here, because I think it's probably important to say, especially when you're dealing with online discourse and things, is, and this applies to every single person here, when we talk about something, if I have come to online to say a thing, and the thing that I have come to say is about COVID specifically, that is what I have come here to say. Like, understanding there is some obvious concern about people who get online and do like fear mongering and nonsense and stuff, although I worry about that more from like large publications than anything.
Yeah.
It's just because I haven't said it doesn't mean either one, the idea isn't there, two, especially an idea that you can draw your own very easy logical conclusion to, because it's literally the next step or whatever. But just because I didn't say it doesn't mean like the thought isn't there. It's also, I didn't come here to say all that today. If you wanted an essay from it, you could have just asked me for one. Or you could have said, hey, so if you feel that way about COVID, how do you feel about these other things? And you probably would have found out, oh, I feel that way about these other things. But I had COVID on the mind today because, for example, it is my friend's birthday. And I had to remember, like Kevin mentioned, that there is X person that I do not have because of this. That is why this is on my mind today. But if you were to ask me how I feel about the flu, I would tell you, don't go to work and wear a mask if you have to go out. If you ask me about pollen, I would be like, hey, you probably don't want that stuff up in your nose and your mouth. You should probably wear one of those. Like, just because people haven't said it doesn't mean that it's not floating around there sometimes. And I try to think that about most things that I see written by individuals online in the spaces that I'm in, because I'm trying to say everything and qualify every single statement I make with like no less than a 13 string of toots, tweets, posts, anything else is a lot to ask about everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, I want to put out there that a lot of people that I'm seeing who are the ones that I'm taking kind of little an issue with are also the one, like, it's not so much like they're not saying everything like you're suggesting. They're also putting like studies about COVID all the fucking time. It's like the people I'm talking about, they're so narrowly focused on COVID.
Oh, see, that's exhausting because I am more in the vein of wherever I go, I'm gonna wear a mask. I ain't gonna wear a mask all the time. If I'm at home or I'm outside, I ain't wearing no mask. If somebody comes over to the house and we outside, I ain't wearing a mask. It is what it is. I done had to work. The one time that I've been unmasked in a weird situation was when I had to work the Black History program, and I had to take my mask off because I'm walking around, I'm huffing and puffing, and so I can't see with the mask on. So I'm sweating, huff and puff. So I take the mask off. So I just said, Mom, I gotta take this mask. I gotta take this mask off. So I took the mask off and I just breathed on air. But then what I did, I took my ass and I stayed home for a few days and checked me and tested me and made sure I was good. But I really say that to say this, like, prepare yourself, get yourself right. But at the end of the day, we can't live in the fear-mongered state that we live in when it comes to COVID. You know,
it's like in 2020, it's like, hey, we don't know what this shit does. We don't have anything to combat it. I'm keeping my ass at home and masking all the time.
And that was a scary moment, but we were prepared by, washing our hands and putting this mask on and like.
Some of us were, because you spent another 2 years finding out how much people didn't bathe, shower, wash their hands, or anything else. But we're not going to get into that.
Or season their food. That was another thing. How the meat gone, but the seasoning is still there. Can't even find chicken, but seasoned salt is there.
But and like 2023, it's like it's definitely changed to where it's like now I'm at a point where it's like I can't live in that fear, but it does not also mean that I cannot be respectful of my fellow human beings. If they say, hey, if I'm coming over and you want me to wear a mask, I'll put a mask on.
Right.
Yeah. However, like I know that I had when I am probably overdue for another COVID booster because I'm immunocompromised.
Mhm.
But that's
So,
more or less so
I-
that way I don't catch it and die from it.
Yeah, I
So
think I'm due for one too.
Yeah,
I
but
want to, I want to say, well, two things here, like, and then I'll just like leave this topic alone
Yeah, 'cause
because
we
like we
definitely
have like
have some
another
up-
page of
yeah.
some stuff.
Yeah.
Thing number one,
Yeah, we went on a journey, but it's
we
cool.
did, and I'm
when
sorry.
when it comes to no,
apologize
it's
for that.
fine. No, like we were all here with you. It's fine.
Yeah.
When it comes to fear mongering and stuff like that, I'm always concerned with that phrasing. One, I understand that there are people who take things to like nearly illogical extremes when it comes to dealing with some things. In some, in some cases, even including related to COVID. But I think there is the people that I'm used to hearing that from are also the people who are just like, where I was very content to just be like, something, if you don't want to wear a mask, do you, I guess. I'm just going to wear one, only to have them being like, well, you can't live in fear forever. And I'm just like, I'm wearing my mask. Why is that bothering you?
Yeah, see,
like,
that wouldn't that doesn't
like,
bother me.
But like, those are the kinds of people, like the people who have those kinds of attitudes of people I'm used to hearing like the fear mongering thing from. And it's sort of like, I'm not necessarily wearing this thing because I'm like afraid of something, but also my mom is immunocompromised and my sister has lupus.
Right.
And I have a number of people who, and this is a good segue into the second point, that are dealing with the long-term effects of having COVID. Like if you get the flu and you get sick, as far as I know, there isn't documentation for this is how having the flu affects you for the next like 10, 20, or 30 years. Now, I'm not saying that study exists, but I haven't seen one of those. But you already have people who are just like, I caught COVID one time and I have not completely recovered from it.
Yep.
And there are multiple people that I know that are living in that reality right now. And it's things like, I can either hang out with my friends or go to the grocery store, but I no longer have the capacity to do both of those things. And especially when you're also dealing with what public health is doing with how COVID is classified as a pre-existing condition, depending on where you are, it's a lot to a lot to consider. And that's also a thing when people talk about like fear mongering and stuff. It's like, quite honestly speaking, on paper, you are considered a disabled person after you come in contact with this if you get that long-term effect. And that's like a 1 in 10 chance that you will. So
yeah,
like we have to like be mindful of that too. So there is the spectrum between taking too much caution and taking zero caution. Like some people, moment that they could go outside and could be around people and didn't have to wear masks, they were already booking flights for Thanksgiving, Christmas, holidays, and trying to go to concerts and stuff. And it's just kind of like
in people's faces.
Oh, 2020.
And I'm just like, y'all, I understand that we're ready to kind of like, for some of y'all are ready to put like a whole era behind you. And it was a terrible era, but like, maybe this is a proceed with caution moment, not like go full throttle into everything as if this didn't happen, because it did.
Right.
And that's it. That's the main. That's where I landed with this.
At least when I travel, like I felt like I waited as long as I possibly could before someone's like, "All right, yeah, you got to get on a plane and go somewhere." That, fuck. Okay.
Now, me, child, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. When I have taken one plane trip and I made that whole thing of being like 2023 is the closest year that I'm going to be on a calendar before I do that. So I took my first flight this year. I had 2 different types of masks. I had a pack for emergencies just in case other people were around me and needed one. And I brought an air purifier that I had on recharge all the time. We do not play games over here where we get into crowded spaces anymore. Like that's the other thing too. That's been weird for me is trying to be in places where a lot of people are and experiencing bodily sensations and feelings that I didn't in rooms where I'm enclosed with a bunch of people that I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm gonna carry that with me for the rest of my life, but that is a different story, child.
Yeah, the way we went to church on Mother's Day, and it just felt like, wow, this is wild. Like, like it's just like, oh, we are here in the sanctuary of the Lord, and it's like not being on the couch in sweatpants. I'm actually having to wear my chinos and a button-down t-shirt, a button-down shirt.
So
This is wild.
So I'm glad I'm still just wearing the same clothes I was.
Oh, I'm dealing with that this year, but that's going to take us in another tangent, and I promise I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah, but
see, I have my style, and like I agreed to this style before the pandemic, so nothing changed for me.
Right, but guess what? Your boy wore that mask, and he said, "Thank you, Chief." With my mask
when I've
on.
had to go to conventions, like, all right, look, we just need a wide berth. If we can be outside, we're gonna be outside.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me a space, please. Thank you, please. Thank you.
I shook people's hands, and I immediately hit that hand sanitizer.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I touched and agreed with people.
Merge. You ain't yup.
So like Kevin was like, I'm gonna touch and agree with my neighbors, and then I'm gonna touch and agree again with science. Hallelujah.
I was like, thank you, Jesus.
Merge out here thinking he's trying to catch somebody in some shit. Nope. Graphic tee, sweatpants. Look, nah, if I'm dressing up, I'll put on a nice pair of jeans.
Look, I told you right now. I'm gonna tell you. I seen a lovely white, like old granny on TikTok said that she has outfits and then she has infits. This is an infit, okay? This is an outfit for inside. It's an infit.
See,
and so I had
ruins. Look, when I heard that, when my preacher said that, I said, you know what? Fuck these suits, man.
Oh yeah, see, I just wear polo. I just wear polo and some chinos.
Nope. T-shirt and jeans. I'm coming in with the sneakers.
Hey, do that.
I like, look, at a certain point, I just stopped caring. He was like, I'm not doing this. I do not feel comfortable in these clothes.
Matter of fact, I done talked this up. Let me put some hand sanitizer on for real.
Dang. I forgot where I was going. And I thought, I was going to my sister's wedding. And I looked in the closet. I was like, damn, I have no dress clothes in this closet. I think the last time I dressed up for her wedding, I was in the wedding party. That was the first wedding. The second wedding, I was a photographer. So it didn't matter. This third wedding, I was like, I'm sure I could find something in here. Oh no, ruined with the stick drift.
Yep, yeah, Ruin told me about this on Wednesday. I was sick for him.
I hope his controller. Yep. See, my controller was not under warranty either. Both of my controllers have stick drift, and I am highly upset about that. That's why I was looking at the DualSense Edge. But damn, that motherfucker's expensive.
It's only a year. Damn.
Yep.
Damn. That 6-month limited warranty hits like a motherfucker.
Anywho, story 2.
Yeah.
Speaking of states that are halting their COVID-19 exposure notification systems,
here we go.
One state is halting an entire app. Montana is the first U.S. state that officially bans TikTok with $10,000 fine per violation.
You know something? I find
who's gonna enforce that?
Like, here's the thing. I want to say personally, the way that I'm giving this side eye on this particular month,
bombastic side eye,
criminally offensive side eye, because like y'all are gonna do this, okay? Right? I know that some people are going to feel that I am making a stretch here. And to those people, I'm going to say, you are entitled to that opinion in silence. Please shut up while I am speaking. Now, that being said, right, it just smacks of this very unfounded thing when it comes to targeted initiatives or whatever else against Asians in this country. And very specifically, I looked at this and went, Y'all banned TikTok, but you have had like Facebook on the Senate floor talking about disrupting democracy, and they are still out here and thriving. You decided to ban this, Montana. Montana, you know what? To be fair, though, considering the things that I see come out of TikTok,
You should be.
I can see why they banned. I could see why. I could see why in some cases. Well,
because
the only way I want to put it like this, considering what people were using, what they were just like, well, you were disrupting democracy, but considering the way that they were trying to tilt things by their use of Facebook, you know something, I'm gonna be like, this is one of those things where you have to like fuss at people in public, but in private, you're like, good job, buddy.
I'd say in the midst of all the food challenges, the TikTok challenges, and 5011 ways and how to make people buy stuff on Amazon, there'll be a few clips of government officials looking pure and utter busted on this app.
Wow.
I mean, not like they aren't right now.
But see now they're looking busted on TikTok.
Wow.
I mean, they was always busted. But see now more people can look at their bustedness all to see.
You're right.
See, they was always more busted than a can of Grand's biscuits, but now they're even more busted.
But it's just one of those things. Like, it's just
term limits.
One, it just bothers them. Two, y'all stay on some nonsense constantly.
Yeah, so it's weird about the xenophobia here, and then seeing more xenophobia on the other side of the country, where Florida is like, hey, we're banning everything that makes us look bad, and hey, let's talk about Asians and how the Asians have done amazing.
Ooh, okay. I mean, there are things that are online about this stuff.
Not to say not to say that Asians have not done amazing, but again, I am more or less talking about the model minority.
Okay, hold on.
Excuse me.
Ooh, gentlemen, would you allow me the floor for approximately 2.5 minutes?
Sure. Look, I even got the Sin Cam queued up. There we go.
First thing, right? We see this, but you do. I want everybody who is listening to this podcast, whether now or in the future or watching live, to remember a few very important things. When people like Florida, like that whole state, right? When these government officials are making these moves like this, the whole point is to drive a wedge between Black people and other minorities right here whenever they do this, because they do this with Black people and Asian people. They do this with Black people and Indigenous people here as well. They do this with Black people and the Latino community constantly, always. They will pick we have decided to make you the golden child, and people don't know enough about our common history to understand why that happens. Because if they did, they would be like, okay, Florida, we see that this is bullshit, but we're not going to be upset about Asian people about it. But what they want is for y'all to be upset about these people getting treated in the way that everybody should be at a base human level. Because let's not forget, we had Asians in the streets marching with Malcolm X. And one of them, like this Asian lady, was like super tight with Malcolm and was holding him in her arms when he passed. I am just saying, let's not forget that part and get lost in the sauce out here when we are listening to all of these announcements coming through. Because we have been a unit far longer than we haven't been one. But these people would make you think that Black people in other cultures, Indigenous or otherwise, that are just non-white, have never gotten along for anything. And we have been marching hand in hand like this for decades. That's all.
Oh, speaking of Florida too, have y'all seen what's been going on in Florida lately?
Oh, have I not? Oh, yes.
He done passed that illegal immigrants joint, and And
See,
now
yeah.
every job site, every Home Depot is just empty.
Let me tell you a little bit of story. I won't be for you long. I'm gonna try to keep it brief. The great state of Georgia in 2020, about 2012, that back then, before our little poo-poo head governor, we had another poo-poo head governor by the name of Sonny Perdue. I don't know if he's that Perdue with the chicken, but he probably might be. Who could say?
I remember, and I am still so sorry that ever happened to y'all.
Right. So he tried it. The fields emptied out, and the farm community was like, no, sir. We're gonna need you to call that back, sir, because that ain't gonna work for us in our bottom line. So yeah, and within probably the fastest head spin since The Exorcist, they pretty much said nah. They pretty much said, yeah, we're gonna run that back. My bad. And they learned that lesson. Alabama tried it, I think somewhere in 2011. I think around 2011. Alabama tried it. It was the same thing. They had to find people to pick the fields. They had to learn it. So it's now Florida's turn on the bubble, and for a state that's prone to hurricanes and tropical storms, they don't want to lose the people who help build and repair the homes and the roofs.
And also, let's not forget, everyone else who's not doing those things is retirement age.
Right. And old. Yep. And
they're not trying to be outside. They're not trying to be outside.
And the ones that are of age and able-bodied, they don't want to be on hot, stinky roofs in the Florida sun.
But they would take in their jobs.
Yeah, and now they can have them back. And guess what?
Can we talk about that? Every
Who
time
gonna pick strawberries?
Every single time this comes up, I try really hard to suppress angry chuckles. They're taking our jobs. These are jobs that you didn't want and didn't apply for.
Right.
Oh, I'm tackling.
Y'all are the people out here who will be like, they're out here taking our jobs, but then also are upset because McDonald's is short-staffed. Well, why don't you work here? I would never work in McDonald's. Please.
Well, why not? But that's the jobs. That's a job.
Y'all don't want to do your own gardens. You don't want to take out your own trash. Y'all don't want to do any of those things. But these people are taking your jobs. Be so fucking for real.
Be for real. But again, so we see many job sites around the state of Florida, empty fields full of strawberries, unpicked. And I'm like, and guess what? That hasn't even taken effect yet. We still got July. That takes place in July. They stop now. They're like, nah, fam.
Also, Latino truckers are not driving or like truckers in general just aren't driving to Florida because of it. It's like, damn.
But again, these are the jobs, right? These are the jobs. Take them back. Take the trucking jobs back. Go work in the fields and pick them strawberries. Go ahead. Go sit on them. Go get on them hot roofs and slap some roofs together. Slap some shingles on there. These are the jobs. These are the jobs.
Speaking of things that have taken an effect yet, going back to the story here. As reported by the Wall Street Journal, the bill is set to completely ban TikTok across Montana effective January 1st, 2024. With this legislation passed, Montana has become the first state in the U.S. to implement a statewide TikTok ban. Montana said it wants to be a, quote, leader when it comes to cracking down on the availability of TikTok in the United States. For example, the state's attorney general has described TikTok as a, quote, tool used by the Chinese government to spy on Montanans. What are you doing in Montana for anybody to spy on you? Do people even know that you're still a fucking state?
Unless you like.
You don't want me to answer that question, Major. You don't
unless
want that.
you like the Duttons from like Yellowstone. I don't think nobody really peeping you, my man.
Montana is a state known for horses and hurricanes.
Hurricanes.
I guess
mess.
it's a place that, nobody knows what goes on there. I don't know.
A mess, a disaster, complete nonsense.
Like, there's like a whole 2 people in Montana, right? Like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Apparently, we looked at me and the other homies looked it up, and we found out apparently there's 1 million people there in the state. I didn't think that was that amount of people.
1 million people in a state. Most cities have 1 million people.
Yeah, that's like, wait, let me look that up. How many people does Atlanta have? How many?
A few million.
A few million.
How many people in Atlanta? Oh wait, no, 500,000. That's surprising. Oh, but we have 10. Oh, but we have 10 million people in the state. So yeah, that's kind of wild to me. That is wild to me that Georgia has more people than Montana, and Montana is the bigger state.
We get spot on Yellowstone National Park.
There's more state than people.
So here's the thing, Kevin. When you looked up Atlanta, I went because you know how like Atlanta and Jacksonville are the 2 places in the South that do this sort of thing, where you have Jacksonville and then the area known as Jacksonville. Same thing with Atlanta. The area known as the Atlanta metro area has a population of 6 million people.
Right.
As of 2022.
Yeah, the area of Atlanta. But metro, when we think about Atlanta, we think about metro. People think about metro Atlanta.
Metro Atlanta, yep.
And not many people live in metro Atlanta. Decatur, Austell, College Park, Sandy Springs, Smyrna, Norcross, all that stuff is the suburbs around it. It's like jewels in the crown of Atlanta.
Yep.
Like I say, when people say like Atlanta, it really means like Kennesaw or Marietta. Or Duluth, Decatur.
You are correct. You are not wrong. You have never been wrong a day in your life. Not about that.
Nope. I'd be like, we live in Atlanta. Okay, which part of Atlanta? Kennesaw? Marietta. Okay. There you go.
Like, New Jersey has 9 million people in it.
Mm-hmm. And that's less state, but more people. Montana has more state than people. Montana is literally the Dollar Tree of states, where there are more people shopping there than working there.
There are more people driving there for their work commute.
Right.
There.
Right.
But yet China wants to spy on Montana.
I mean,
I want to, and that's also a thing too, but I think that's more of an aside than anything. It was just being like, look at y'all like trying to paint these very unreasonable things, because surely if you win that argument in a place as unreasonable as Montana, then everywhere else is going to be a breeze.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know what they do in Montana? Do they pretend to be cowboys? I mean, if one very popular Ubisoft title is to be believed, they're full of religious zealots.
Yeah.
At least in one county in Montana.
The Seeds. Yeah.
Yellowstone is in Montana. Maybe the people who are in Montana are all just like park rangers.
The Duttons. If you know, you know. Yellowstone. Yeah.
I mean, Diogen, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Diogen. You ain't been wrong yet.
But I mean, there is the whole thing in general, and then there are places in particular.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so ridiculous.
There are places that look like the norm, and there are places that look like the stereotype, and that's pretty much it.
I'll put it like this: there are some places that look like they would have been a proper setting for the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and that was what I'm going to say about that.
You can't hear the snaps, but you know they're snapping.
I sure do.
I was kind of one of those people, but not because like, oh, it's just an unfair shot at French people laughing at Southern folks. It's just that, I don't know, it seemed like it hit really close to home of having religious zealots with a whole bunch of guns just wanting to kill me. And I'm like, yeah, no, thank you. That's too much like real life for me. I'm gonna go play something else.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm not really down. Well, again, really down with Far Cry,
and then hearing the end
that
of
less
that
so.
game. And then hearing about the end of that game is, oh wait, they technically won? Okay, yep, fuck this. Fuck all of this.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep. So
like, I don't care how much I don't care how much medication I'm on. Nothing is enough to make me be like, yeah, that's just far-fetched. Right.
Yeah. Fun fact about that game: the person that plays Joseph Seed, that is his not only his voice, but that's also his model. He modeled himself for that. So there have been times where he has dressed up as Joseph Seed, and it has freaked me the hell out.
And I'm glad I've not seen it.
Yes.
iPhones. Speaking of iPhones specifically for a second here, iPhones will be able to speak in your voice with 15 minutes of training.
Ooh.
We haven't had people have their iPhones jacked before. Like, that can't possibly be a bad thing. Like, are they trying to enable all of the Ocean's 11 nonsense and propaganda that we've ever seen on TV?
What's that one?
I mean, so let's just put on this. This is an accessibility feature.
Yeah.
You know, something major. What I would say is, I pray for all of us that you are correct.
This is what's on the screen. This was released at, like, a part of, it was a preview of iOS 17 that released earlier this week. According to Apple, users can create a personal voice by reading a set of text prompts allowed for a total of 15 minutes of audio on the iPhone or iPad. Since the feature integrates with live speech, users can then type what they want to say and have their personal voice read it to whomever they want to talk to. Apple says the feature uses, quote, on-device machine learning to keep users' information private and secure.
This seems like a very odd feature as an accessibility feature for the people who need to use it, because there are plenty of people that need accessibility features for text-to-speech and stuff because they cannot talk.
Yeah, my whole issue is you have a way to do text-to-speech. Why does it have to be in your voice?
Correct, and that's the part that I'm concerned about.
And
we got there eventually. We're here.
Oh, I mean, I was already there because like people, like when I shared the article earlier in the week, people were like, well, why? Why does this? Like, I don't know. I cannot answer that question for you. However, one, Apple says it's an accessibility feature, and it's a thing like once it's labeled that, I can't fully dismiss it because they like, again, me saying, I don't know, this seems like it could be for good part, but knowing it's not. Apple is also a corporation who wants to make money. Who did they talk to who requested this feature? Who is this actually for?
Especially in the era of like AI training, because you mean to tell me y'all didn't want to do this before now?
Well, also the fact that their onboard SoC may not have been powerful enough to do it before now. Because remember, this is all happening on device. It's not like they're sending the audio and it is coming back trained. So it's like the A17 Bionic supersized or whatever the fuck is in an Apple phone or in an iPhone or an iPad now may not have the capability of doing this before now. So Merge is, I was going to get to that part where it's like, I imagine at WWDC, we're going to see why this exists. And then hopefully come to the conclusion whether or not this was worth it or not. Because again, if you already had text to speech, why does it have to be somebody's voice? Even if you are temporarily unable to speak. Unless it's the fact that somebody needs to verify it is you. If you are talking on a phone.
Like, what I'm going to say is, if they pull up this and they go to...
The only heir to the...
My bad. Don't worry about that.
But I'm going to.
I was going to say, unless, and understand that because we're in the era of AI that we're in, I am very concerned about any time that they have a feature that there's like, you can train this to sound like anyone, right? Unless they introduce, and I mean, we're talking like Fort Knox level of guardrails and safety features to prevent this from being abused. And if they don't address that in a direct manner, I hope people just go absolutely the fuck not.
Okay, so now here's my question, because like I look at this from a technical standpoint. How would they get it to sound like somebody else? Let's say I had my iPhone. How would I get it to sound like you?
The thing is, I'm not worried about your particular phone sounding like you. It's not like, hey, this thing that we've recorded, like the training that we recorded for Major's phone, that allows things to be repeated in Major's voice, only lives on his phone. Okay.
So one, again, they said that it is, all of this is on device. Let's see what it's like. Again, my question is, what guardrails to keep this from being abused? So again, the question is like, in what scenarios are you talking about being abused? Where you already have a number of secure things that are sitting on your device that are locked behind chips, like the Titan chips that are in the Max, and I think the iPhone as well, like the secure enclaves of the world of all these devices. So you could say like if you had enough recordings of my voice that it can be trained, but what like are the like it's 15 minutes. Do you have 15 minutes of the phrases that Apple would ask you to replicate of my voice? iCloud accounts can be created in a few minutes if you only need 15 minutes to train a voice. Again, it's on device. iCloud is not. But it would depend on the training regimen. If it's the same words or phrases, we could come up with enough. Yes. So that merge, I can see that. But what I'm imagining is that they may mix that up. While I still like, I will still contend that people in Silicon Valley are dumb as shit when it comes to things. At the speed in which Apple comes up with something, it's like they would rather be the last people at the party and make sure they do it right. Even though lately that's still not been the case. This is also saying nothing RE consent. But if I'm the, so okay, with consent, I sat and recorded 15 minutes of my voice to be used for this. I imagine that's about as much consent. You had to click into the thing to train the voice.
So as long as it's something I want them to address, like I want them to like kind of be like, hey, this is not like the super specifics, obviously, but like, hey, here are some like common concerns that we feel that people would have, and here's how we want to address them. Because it's an opt-in thing, and as long as it remains an opt-in thing,
which I imagine it would be,
then I still have concerns about it. But that's because, like we said, like I'm here to ruin everything. And being like not facetious for a second, it's just I feel that it is important, especially when we're already dealing with people being like, let's try to create things in people's likenesses as it is. Let's and simulate them like having conversations with each other about things, whatever those things like be. Like Bill Gates and Socrates, because someone thought that was a good idea for some. Wait, sorry, not Steve. Like not Bill Gates. Yeah, it was Bill Gates and Socrates for whatever reason. When you have like a whole bunch of things that are just like, let's try to mimic what humans interacting between each other looks like, both visually and with the audio and stuff to match. I feel like it is not responsible if I don't approach it with some level of skepticism until proven otherwise, which I wish I did not have to do.
Okay, so here we go. Users can create a personal voice by reading along with a randomized set of text prompts to record 15 minutes of audio on iPhone or iPad. The speech accessibility feature uses on-device machine learning to keep users' information private and secure, and integrates seamlessly with live speech so users can speak with their personal voice when connecting with loved ones. So I'm starting to wonder if it's not necessarily for access. So it's like people who may use live speech, but say, hey, I know I use live speech, but if I could use my voice, that way people would recognize my voice if I were to lose it, because I have this issue where I would slowly but inevitably lose the ability to talk. And it would make my friends and family feel more comfortable speaking to somebody who sounds like me as opposed to a robot. Let me do this now before I lose the ability to speak. So when I do lose the ability to speak, I can communicate with family and friends with a voice that sounds like me as opposed to a robot. I don't know. That's kind of what I am ascertaining from this. So yeah, apparently Philip Green, board member and ALS advocate at Team Gleason nonprofit, who has experienced significant changes to his voice since receiving his ALS diagnosis in 2018, says, at the end of the day, the most important thing is being able to communicate with friends and family. If you could tell them you love them in a voice that sounds like you, it makes all the difference in the world. And being able to create your synthetic voice on your iPhone in just 15 minutes is extraordinary. So this isn't for people who cannot talk currently. It's for those people who may have something like ALS, who may not be able to talk in the future, but would like to communicate with a voice that sounds like them when they can no longer talk themselves. And that I do kind of get. So it's like a, just in case I won't be able to talk to you again, here is my voice. And I imagine it'll be synthetic enough to where it's like, okay, this is not a real person talking. Because I've actually used my voice and tried to train an AI model, and it did not sound like me at all. It was no, thank you. And Twitter Power Hour news. Look at this man. This looks like a man who fucked around and found out.
Oh yeah.
And he did. Me, however, I'm creating a cron job on my daughter's computer to say, clean your room. I mean, but can you just record your own voice saying that?
You could, but what's the fun in that?
Musk loses free speech court battle. Tesla to keep pre-screening tweets. Look at him. That's a sad man.
Good.
That's a sad man.
Stay sad.
There's not that much to this other than the fact that I found out that there is somebody who is watching him tweet, but they're only allowed to stop him from tweeting crazy shit about Tesla. Which then leads me to this article. Oh, wait, this isn't it. Did I not include the other one? Oh no, I think I might have included the wrong one. Because this is a decent one, but I meant to include the one from his CNBC article the other day. I mean, his CNBC story the other day.
Oh, that was wild.
Give me a second. I'm gonna go find that one. That's the one I really wanted. Do. Don't mind me. I'm gonna go look for an article. Oh shit. There's actually, oh no. It's actually this one, but there was another one about him in his mouth writing checks that, you know. I don't think I included that one though. Mainly because it's about him and his money, and I really can care less about his money. Is it this one? No, so these are tweets about him him going against the dude from on Wikipedia. Right, like Bird, like exactly, like all them problematic tweets, and it was going through a filter. What the fuck? What are we doing? So hey, Elon Musk thinks you should get off your work from home bullshit. In an interview aired on the CNBC, Elon Musk called remote work morally wrong and bullshit, arguing it was unfair to those workers who can't work from home.
Okay, where is this? Is this a new entry?
This is an article that's on Discord. I'm going to replace it with the one with the Turkish election one.
Okay, can you drop that link so I can read this? Because here's the thing, right?
Oh, there's more, but this is the one I grabbed. This is the one I did grab. There are a lot of things that came in through CNBC, the CNBC interview.
So, like, here's the thing about that, right? Elon said blah, blah, blah about working from home. First thing, this is old news. This isn't, like, I don't know why we published this.
Well, he did say that he was relaxing on that at one point.
Well, I mean, sure, I guess. But, like, at this point, right, it shouldn't be presented like Elon just said this. It would be things like, hey, you know, he said this, he said this and went on record saying this, he walked that back a little bit for whatever reason, and now we're back here. We already saw that he wasn't here for the work from home thing because of what he did when he first got Twitter. So I don't know how this is like a headline, but also like morally wrong and all this other stuff.
The headline is that it's morally wrong.
No, it's just, well, I mean, like looking at this and being like, he said that like in the middle of the pandemic of all times, but you know, like that was also a thing in the middle of like the darker parts of the pandemic, I guess I should say. Here's the thing. For him, apparently, and I feel like this about people who are all up in arms about remote work policies and all this other stuff, the only thing you want is control of people in physical space. And that's the only reason why you would ask for that, period. Yep. Because there are a handful of jobs that I can think of that you have to be in office for, but tech, by and large, is not one of them.
Yep.
unless you were doing physical server repairs, or unless you're like Kevin, where you're dealing with hardware and stuff like that, and they have to have you in shop to run around and do things and make sure something works at like a hospital or whatever, you don't need to be there. You were doing we're doing Python, Elon. We're doing coding, Elon. We're like logging into laptops. What do you need us in the office building for? You don't.
There you go.
You just like you want control of people. And how do we know that? Because when you got Twitter, the first thing you did was make a whole bunch of people who had no business being there move from different cities and their homes against international law, no less, which is probably why he had to back that whole thing up, to work in office. And then was just like, we're gonna build bedrooms and we're gonna put TVs in here and furniture in here so that you can't leave. We expect you to stay overnight. We expect you to work on this 24/7 or whatever. None of this should be groundbreaking news to anybody. The person's a dick. The end. But I mean, I don't know, like, what are we expecting from apartheid Clyde here?
Again, so I don't think it's so much of a, oh no, he said a thing that, you know, he said from the jump and we're all surprised about that. Again, it's more or less the things he said about it during the interview, which is,
what are people just being like, oh, he was more unhinged about this than we thought? Is that the article here?
More or less.
Because I mean, if that's the case, then it's kind of like,
because it's also just like how he, like what he said was, so it's more or less here it is, like, quote, get off the GD moral high horse with the work from home bullshit because they're asking everyone else to not work from home while they do. He went on to argue that because people who deliver food and build houses can't work from home, neither should office workers, calling the decision, quote, messed up and, quote, a moral issue. So it's more or less like who he's choosing to compare these remote workers to. Like comparing apples to oranges. So it's one thing where it's like, yes, we know why. He's been saying, hey, you should come in, you're more productive, blah, 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 like every other fucking manager on this planet has been trying to say. But it's who he's trying to compare it to. Like,
quote unquote,
hey,
you know,
these jobs that can't be done remotely, no matter how you slice it, unless you sit there and convert them to drones, and hey, nobody has to actually deliver shit or build a house.
Well, you know something, maybe he could do that if he could make a working car, but we're not going to talk about that.
Because the reason why people, because it's CNBC, so of course we want to ask the tech savants of the world all these questions that, you know, they don't understand because they understand money, but they don't understand tech. They want to see how the movers and shakers of the world are managing their companies to maximize their profits.
I'm a big believer that people, I'm reading a large like block quote here. I'm a big believer that people need to be more productive when they're in person. But here's the thing. You have multiple studies done by people who know how science works that confirms the fact that they don't.
And yet, so counterpoint, I saw a study that actually says the opposite. So it's like, they'll just cite that. But of course it was run, I think, by a bank.
Yeah.
And we're done. Thank you. Thank you for making my point.
Yeah.
Because like the thing is, right, at the end of this, when it comes to questions like these, articles like these, statements like this from people like Elon, the question is always, who does it benefit to have, like, who does it benefit to have like me physically in a building? Me as a person, the data that I look in is in remote systems. I don't have a customer facing role, for example. I have to talk to people. I don't have to ask like ask other people to do things most of the time. And most of the time when I do have to ask people, it's here's a thing I put together. I need you to read it and make sure that this makes sense. You don't need me to be in an office to walk over to your desk and be like, hey, I just emailed you something. Could you read that, please? Period. But you just like the whole, like the thing is, people being in a building does something for you that has nothing to do with the work that they are doing. And that is what needs to be addressed. Now, for some people, I like the idea of having hybrid work environments where if people do want to go to an office, because it lets them get out of the house, socialize with coworkers, walk down to the coffee shop if they feel like taking a little walkie walk. I love that for you. If you like that, I love that for you. And I want you to have that option. But there's a difference between that being an option and that being a demand, and that demand being correlated to you don't get the amount of work done that you need to be doing when you're at home, when every single like across the board, people are just like, all right, well, we're still making multiple millions, if not billions of dollars in the middle of a pandemic when people can't be in the office.
Yep.
Because our people are able to save themselves up to like 2 to 3 hours a day in commute.
Yep. Plus,
because here's the thing, if you want me to come into the office, here's what I want. This is the compromise. If you are going to demand that I be in the office every single day, I would like you to also give me additional pay and or a stipend for all of that travel. Because if you started paying me from the time that I have to leave to commute to get to the office and the commute back home, maybe you can have that discussion. But until then, no, get up out my face.
And take that money that you would have spent for pizza parties and whatever, and put that in and invest that into your employees. I'll be damned if I'm gonna get paid in pizza. I could buy my own damn pizza. Thank you very much. Please and thank you.
To Cal, respectfully.
No.
To Cal, respectfully.
No.
Not even gas money. These people would have to hit you for a stipend. These people would have to hit you with a stipend that covers your gas money, maintenance, and a bit of insurance. You have to do all of that. I know that I'm not using my car only for work, but I have to use this car in order to do work.
Yep.
Because here's the thing, I have to use the car to get work because Elon doesn't believe in public transit. Run me these coins. I better have free, you better put somewhere where I have free parking validation and or a bus pass for any transit in the city that I'm in, period.
Right.
Otherwise, literally stop talking to me.
That's right. Uber credits, Lyft credits.
Period per the end.
Incentives for carpool, anything. Instead of bumping your damn gums,
but
and make babies that you don't remember.
But babies that either you don't remember or don't want to talk to you, if we're being real about it. But here's the other thing too. He's been saying this. It's 2023. He's been saying this for the last 2 years. My question is, at this point, except for the article being like, "Hey, look at this. Let us all point and laugh. This person is unhinged." Unless it's that. I don't know what the point of this article is, because it's one of those, he's been saying that for the last 2 years, and he's also proven that he's loud and wrong for all of that time and basically every move.
Yes, it is also a laugh at this unhinged man talk about things he does not know what he's talking about.
Because let us point and laugh at this man.
Yeah.
Ooh, this man energy.
But yeah, speaking of like coming back into the office, like I remember this because I was watching a video yesterday and I posted about it. And shout out, like, again, the mayor of DC, shout out to her, Mayor Bowser, for doing all that she can for DC, right?
Yeah.
But what really got me, though, is like, so I'm going to read this in full here. So I'm listening to the DC mayor delivering remarks to Congress. She keeps saying that something should be done to bring people back downtown. I'm going to have to say no on that. As a small business owner, I have to adopt to a changing market. It is unfortunate that businesses have dried up because people are no longer being forced into places they didn't want to be. I do feel sorry for those businesses that were built on the backs of exploitive practices, but they had to know. If anything, these shops should receive benefits to relocate to where the people are or want to be.
You gotta be.
So yeah,
where
like
the people are.
Yeah, it's the thing of like, stop forcing people to be where they don't want to be.
Well, like there's forcing people to be where they don't want to be, but also, and this is the thing that constantly burns my biscuits about these conversations. The people are there and usually want to work, but like the quote you were reading here, right? Exploitative practices. Like what you want is it for people to like, y'all will be like putting people into trash conditions that destroy their health and home life, and like have people in your office trying to work out how they're going to commute here while they're also riding the edge of paying all their bills and or facing eviction. And all you have to say about that is no one wants to work anymore. If your business can't survive and treat people right at the same time, it doesn't deserve to.
Exactly.
Let me repeat that one more time for the people in the back.
Hold on, I got you.
Your business can't.
Hold on. There you go.
Okay. One more time for the people in the back. If your business, whatever it is, cannot survive without treating people like shit, then it shouldn't.
Yep.
Wow.
I hope it crumbles into dust and ash every time I take a breath. Thank you and you're welcome. Don't take that up with me. Argue with your grandma, your auntie, or Jesus about it. I'm not here for it.
See, this is why, and I feel like Major, I feel like we need to hit the button on this, because go ahead and hit the C word button, because
got you.
Yeah, because just as it said with capitalism is the exact same reason why the pendulum swings to the left. It swings. You can open up the country. You can open up the downtowns and that thing. But if people ain't buying because they are comfortable with sitting in their pajamas and buying everything they need, that's the thing about adapting.
And it's
if
the thing
you can't adapt to the market, then you die.
And it's the thing too, where somebody else, and I'm not sure if people saw the post underneath that one. If you made it cheaper to live in downtown where those businesses were, then they wouldn't be hurting as much.
Right, because like I said, why would somebody want to come all the way downtown when they can be in the suburbs and get everything they need and not have to go downtown? Why would they do that? Why would they pay for parking?
Yeah,
I park on the street and risk like fines and tickets when they can just literally just say like, nah, bump all that. I'm gonna stay at the home.
Yeah, and it's like
or I'm gonna go to local spots.
And it's like that made me so upset when I was watching that video, because it was Mayor Bowser putting, I think, Lauren Boebert in her place. But in her speech, like in her opening remarks to Congress, she said twice that she's looking for help bringing people downtown to help local businesses. And I'm like, yeah, I'm with you until that part.
Right. I am basically like the checklist. I'm with that. I'm not with that. I'm with that. I'm not with that twice. I'm with that. So it's the ups and downs, the backs and forths of that. Because, I don't even want to go to my own downtown, much less somebody else's downtown.
Right. Yeah, downtown Raleigh is, it's okay, but
it ain't nothing I need. Downtown is the bank. That's what it is. Yeah. Downtown is literally the bank. It's the bank.
Look, I'm lucky I got one like 2 minutes down the road, but
it's the bank. It's the bank instead of City Hall. The place I'm trying to fight right now.
They lucky. They lucky it's uncomfortable for me to get downtown.
But like, if it was not for the pure, like, I'm sick of y'all would see me every day. But
also in that CNBC interview, Elon also had this to say. Where is it? Okay, so it doesn't seem like they include, does it? Yeah, it doesn't seem like it includes the quote from, or if it does, I'm not seeing it right away. But Elon says that, hey, I can say whatever the fuck I want to my platform, even if it costs the company money.
And that's all he wanted, because SEC violations.
And this was basically in response to some, again, the same interview from CNBC, where they had asked him about his tweets about George Soros being Magneto, where it's like, okay, that's a choice because both are Jewish. And then he goes
Oh,
on and says the
bitch.
quiet part out loud, where it's like, you assume they are good at you assume they are good intentions. They are not. He wants to erode the very fabric of civilization. Soros hates humanity. Like, he just went full on anti-Semitic.
Major, I have something coming in hot and fresh for you in the DMs. From this, I am going to do some additional searching because this is oh my god. Anyway.
Oh no! What?
Ooh.
Hey, remember last week when we said that on this show I will at least keep me logged into Twitter once a month? Here we go.
Oh.
I am now logged into Twitter. Oh.
Like I said, W.
This is not. Please tell me this is not real.
It's like.
Oh no. Read the second tweet in so that you can see the part that I'm concerned about.
Oh no, I see it.
Okay.
I see all of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like. It's like, oh, it's like, you remember that scene, you remember that in I think, was it Return of the King? Yeah, it was Return of the King. Where Gondor is fighting and then Rohan pulls up. This is when Rohan pulls up.
So many parts of this are
like,
just not great. Not even the second part that Sin is talking about. Like the account that it comes from and what they say in relation to what I'm about to show you. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the people, so again, this is appropriate because in the article, they all say, hey, Tesla is going to have to advertise. Where are they going to advertise? Twitter. So it says, in case you're wondering why the WGA is on strike and why SAG-AFTRA is currently voting on strike authorization, apparently Real Meat Kevin has tweeted, introducing Tesla's first ad featuring Van City Rentals and thanks to Elon Musk and Tesla. Readers added context they thought people might want to know. This video has been created with the help of AI and does not feature the actor Ryan Reynolds at Van City Reynolds.
You can literally tell that it is AI too. Oh, this is terrible.
Just the image alone is like, yeah, something ain't right. But
Major, I hit you with a follow-up so you can go and watch the video.
It's right here.
Okay.
So again, just when we need, like, again, the whole verification process of this site is just fucked now, right? So like, hold on, before I go any further, I want to, let's see. This account is verified because it's an official organization on Twitter. What does that even mean? But meet Kevin, financial news and education.
I want you to know Elon responded to this.
So so this isn't from Tesla. This is what this guy made.
Right.
We made this partly with deepfake AI. Van City Rental wasn't actually a part of this, so we think he'd make a phenomenal brand partner for Elon Musk and Tesla. I want to say no. I'm happy to fly to Tesla HQ and share more ideas for free anytime. Thanks to Homar's blog for letting us steal his FSD footage without even asking him. Omar rocks. Where Elon tweeted or responded with nice. Let's see here. Let's set it up. Let's set up the clip. Let's introduce the clip here. Get the audio just right. I'm about to sell y'all on Tesla, folks. Sorry about that.
Oh my God.
This isn't how this was supposed to go down, but here we are.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds. How much do you think it would cost to own a car
Ah,
that's
no!
this fucking awesome? What the shit? That's the coolest thing
What?
ever. What if I told you you could own this car for less than the lifetime cost of a Toyota Corolla? Whose balls do I have to fondle to get a Tesla instead of a shit Corolla? Well, today you can buy one for just $36,490 with tax credits. Fuck yeah. Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds. How much do you think it would cost?
Oh my
to
God,
own a
like
car
he didn't
that's
even do a
this
good
fucking-
job.
Yeah, like it's awful.
It is the
Awful. Yep.
These are the kind of things that when I tell y'all that I am afraid of technology being used for infamous reasons, I think about things like this because these people are on a strike. Again, notice every time that AI comes up, it's always in these like applications, it's always people want to be paid a living wage. People want to work 40 hours at one job and be able to pay their bills and reasonably enjoy their leisure time with their families or doing whatever else they want to do because they would like to work to live and not live for work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And every time that happens now, AI comes up in terms of this kind of stuff. And this is like, there's a strike going on for like writers that writers are also joining in on. And imagine, and like what they've been turning into, if you've been paying attention for the last week, is getting AI to generate scripts for shows and to do writing for comedy. And now they're going so far as to take people's images and likenesses to do that and then just posting that on Twitter and stuff. Boy, I hope he sues that man into the ground. I hope he sues the last name off that man.
Mm-hmm. He takes the Musk away. Takes the Kev away.
Merge, because we live in capitalism, all I can say is I am so sorry because I know that is probably pissing you off.
Ooh, Chile.
Especially, and see, here's the thing, Diogen, and like it's something that people were talking about too with like some other things. You have to be careful about things that are offered to you for free as an assistive tool because it's one of those, it's going to take all of those questions and the answers that you get and maybe the corrections that you make with the assistive tool and then be like, well, we don't need you anymore to ask these questions that already, like you've already done all that. For us, thank you. Merge, if you ever need to post your true feelings somewhere, you know exactly where you can do that. That's all I gotta say.
Yes, the Matrix server that I have set up, not Discord, because of the fact that you can be subpoenaed and Discord will definitely share your DMs. Oh, did we not cover that? I could have sworn we covered that.
They covered what, Major? Is
Oh,
this
the
time
fact
for a
that-
commercial?
No. The fact that Discord will totally share your private messages. Because how did they were able to recover those chats of, hey, this guy shared classified documentation of the war in Ukraine. So yes, if you would like access to some channels and stuff on matrix.matrixhouse.com. I'm just saying. Anywho, speaking of AI, Adobe added AI-powered text-based video editing and more released for Adobe's Premiere Pro. It's
like reading that article title right after the thing that you just saw.
I don't even want to talk about it now. Like, I think it's cool, but I don't want to talk about it. I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
Or the fact that Wendy's latest tests will have robots deliver food orders through tunnels.
We're a little bit too late for the Jetsons at this point. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah,
I want.
Or this one. Yeah, actually, this was my fault because I stacked a bunch of AI articles at the end. Because there's one more. OpenAI launches free ChatGPT app for iOS. Now, before we this one I do want to discuss, not for the AI part, but you know, I forgot about the JBC. Who's down with the JBC? Yeah, you know me. Actually, I'm down with the Baconator, but you know. Yeah, the way I saw that is like, yeah, they're delivering fucking JBCs through. Great. Now I'm just saying this not ironically. They're delivering JBCs like banks give you money. Those pneumatic tubes.
I'm like, it makes me think of have you ever watched like Looney Tunes and you've ever heard the song Powerhouse? And if you ever know yep. And then you just see like burgers just flying up. Man.
Great, now we're gonna be copyright. We're gonna get those copyright strikes now. Those
Not the
were
way we-
flawless. It was flawless. It was flawless.
Mm-hmm. It was too good.
It was too good. The Baconator will end you ate 2 in one day. And why did you eat 2 in a day? I barely have like 1 every month. I don't go to Wendy's that often. All right, so I'm not sure what to call means by not this again.
Probably the JBC.
Okay, yeah, maybe the JVC. But yeah, OpenAI and the ChatGPT app. I do want to mention this because of the fact that, excuse me, it is not uncommon to be on Instagram or whatever and see ads for generative AI apps to download on your phone. And they are trying so hard to make it look like make it look like ChatGPT, make it sound like it's ChatGPT, to make it sound like it's OpenAI, to where when I saw this article, I went to the App Store on my phone, searched ChatGPT, and got literally every other app except for the real one. To where I had to go in and find. Yeah, so here it is. Here's the link to the App Store, and it had to kind of send the link to my phone so I can get this app specifically. Verge was a big guy at one point and thought he could handle it. He could not. So I have not used this app, but at least now there isn't it's almost like Wordle, where when Wordle became a thing, there were people in like the App Store making Wordle clones, trying to make it seem like it was the official Wordle app. So yeah, I would say at least good on OpenAI for putting out ChatGPT as an app. Also, apparently people are not liking how OpenAI went to Congress yesterday and was like, look at all the amazing things we can do with generative AI.
Mm-hmm.
To where everybody who came out of that hearing was like, yo, this was amazing. This is amazing technology. It was like magic.
Mm-hmm.
Said the people who barely know how it works, but sure.
Yeah.
So here you go, Merge. This is directly OpenAI right here. This is their website. You can download on the App Store, and it will take you to there. Look, it's already shot up to #1 in productivity. But yeah, OpenAI's ChatGPT is now on iOS. It will be on Android a little bit later. Who's ready to talk about video games finally after 2 hours?
Yeah.
I'm still fucked up by that damn tweet, man.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that I had to do that to you. I really do.
So what about some good news for once?
Okay.
Steam is now offering 90-minute game trials, starting with the remake of Dead Space.
You know, I appreciate that because many times I want to dabble in a game, but I don't know if I like it or not. This will work for me.
Like, I think it'll be an opt-in type thing. That just says like 90 minutes is a lot of time for some games.
Mm-hmm.
Merch says, I like my TTT like Star Wars, all politics and trade negotiations.
Oh, so you mean Star Trek? Gotcha.
No, that's science.
Oh.
There's no science discussed here.
Oh, trust me, there's definitely politics and trade negotiations in Star Trek too. There was literally an episode where they were like, "Hey, we're taking bids on this wormhole. Could you who want to buy this?"
Takal says, I mean, people were doing that anyways because Steam refunds if you don't play for more than like it's 2 hours. So let's go Cisco. When you try selling your shit on your own store, yeah, I'm gonna need you to start offering demos now. But yeah, because of the fact that you can return games within 2 hours, like having a 90-minute demo, I feel like will save a lot of headaches.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this doesn't solve the problem for games that may take like less than an hour to beat or something like that.
I mean, for specific games, yeah, no. But
Star Trek throws in a random teleporter malfunction to keep things interesting. Oh, that's when we have tech issues on the show.
Yeah. The pattern buffers.
Yeah. That's when we have tech issues. It's like, oh no, wormhole.
Mm-hmm. The dilithium crystals.
Oh no.
Antimatter pods.
Discord's having an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Dead Space does have a demo? I mean, yeah, they just got one on the 15th. You should try it out. I thought about it. I still haven't downloaded it. It's like, I don't know if I want to deal with that still. Even if it's a 90-minute demo, do I still want to deal with Dead Space? Can you guarantee that I'm not gonna have to deal with horrific aliens in 90 minutes? Can I just like walk around the opening of the game for 90 minutes? Ooh, that looks like that's a great door. I love how they placed that door there. Look at how that door is placed. It would be really good to cover fucking games with though. I'm more scared of Origin than I am of any other. I don't know what Xenos are. The demos? So yeah, it would really be nice. I'd love to see more games do this. So shout out to Dead Space, shout out to Steam. 2-hour tutorial, 30 minutes of compiling shaders. Ooh. Damn, that's right. Good luck on that Call of Duty, baby. I wonder if they have something that will track that. As, all right, like, is active playing versus compiling shaders. Anywho, not to be outdone, our new favorite person over at Xbox, Sarah Bond, because Uncle Phil is out.
Yeah.
Uncle Phil is out. Sarah Bond is in. Corporate vice president for games at Microsoft. Revealed that Xbox is looking into other gaming models such as timed slices with games or by putting ads in games. Wow, Dopo says 2-hour demo starts when you hit download, then they throttle the speed on the download. That'd be a bitch.
They can kiss my ass when that happens. I'd be like, well, fuck you and your gang.
In an interview with Rolling Stones UK, Baum was asked how developers can see success on Xbox. She said Game Pass is an option for developers and explained how Game Pass is just one of the many business models by saying you have pay to play, then there was free to play, and then we introduced Game Pass. We've talked about how we're experimenting with models like what does it mean for advertising in games, which is more prevalent in mobile. Are there models of that work well in PC and console? Are there other models where you might have timed slices of games and stuff like that? Providing creators with options and choices enables them to experiment and do what they like and actually create more immersive and creative experiences without having to fit into a mold. Wait, does the UK spell mold differently than America too?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. Diogen, you were hiding things from me. Also, just a reminder, Sony tried to make demos a thing as part of their expensive subscription. I assume that failed. Oh, right. They were trying to do that. I don't know, Diogen. I'm just fucking with you. You're the only person in here that I know is currently from the UK, so. But the joke was that you were hiding the fact that mold is spelled with a U in the UK, like favorite and color. The headline in the embed made it sound like they were going to put ads in games that were a part of Game Pass. Yeah, I still don't see that. Yeah, but Takal, when you said that this morning, I said, okay, maybe because I do skim these articles. Like sometimes unless it's like really interesting, I don't read them. I skim them just to make sure I'm not retreading shit. So I was like, okay, let me go back and read this article because I swear they didn't say that. Oh, you scared me this morning. So yeah, it seems like just independently of maybe Steam, but I doubt it because this was 2 days later. Sarah was like, yeah, we should totally offer demos to games again like we used to, because why did we stop? Mm-hmm. Oh, right, because some developers wanted to trick us with their videos and get us on the hook for buying the full game, even though their games suck ass.
Yep. That part.
Ads in games and they increasing the prices. What are they, Hulu, Netflix? Well. Luckily that is not the thing yet. In more Microsoft news, the Activision Blizzard acquisition has been approved by the EU. But it came with concessions. Microsoft has to do some things in order for this to be honky-dory. Okay, so this one doesn't has it. It was one article I was looking at. It was a detailed list. Trying. Okay. The EU found that Microsoft, quote, would have no incentive to refuse to distribute Activision's games to Sony, and that, quote, even if Microsoft did decide to withdraw Activision's games from the PlayStation, this would not significantly harm competition in the consoles market. But EU regulators, much like the UK, did find the acquisition could harm competition around the distribution of PC and console games through cloud gaming services. The European Commission has identified remedies to allow for the deal to go ahead through 10-year licensing deals that Microsoft has offered to competitors. These include a free license to consumers in EU countries that would allow them to stream via any cloud gaming streaming service of their choice, all current and future Activision Blizzard PC and console games that have a license for, that they have a license for. Cloud providers will also be offered a free license to stream these games in EU markets. These licenses are automatic and mean that consumers will have a right to stream Activision Blizzard games they've purchased or subscribed to on any cloud gaming service, streaming service of their choice, and play them on any device using any operating system. It appears that the European Commission requested Microsoft offer this automatic license, and the Xbox maker will now apply this globally. Ruin says Microsoft going to be doing all kinds of nasty shit in back alleys to get this deal through. And Dodger says, this isn't much of a concession. You're right, because Microsoft was technically kind of doing this from the jump. And while they still don't have access to ABK yet, Xbox went ahead and did us a favor. Xbox debuts PC games to NVIDIA GeForce Now members beginning today. Of course, this starts off with Gears 5. We're thrilled to share that starting today, NVIDIA GeForce Now cloud gaming members in the UK, the US, and the European Union around the world can stream Gears 5, and on May 25th, we'll be able to enjoy fan favorites Deathloop, Grounded, and Pentiment. This is just the beginning stage of our forward-thinking 10-year partnership with NVIDIA to make PC games from Xbox Game Studios and Bethesda available to their GeForce Now members. Together, we're accelerating access to players around the globe by letting them choose how and when they play. Excuse me. So why does Microsoft have to own ABK? They could just enter in an exclusivity agreement and would have saved them a ton of money and time.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the exact
is probably
same
hemorrhaging
framework.
a lot of money and they want to be bought.
Right, and they needed that cash.
Yes.
Because that
ABK
cash-
wants to be bought. Microsoft was probably the only one big enough and willing enough to buy them.
Right. Plus those like exclusivity contracts would not even be enough to cover the things that they really need to stay afloat. That was what I was also thinking too, because I was thinking like, why don't they just like exclusivity? But then I'm like, oh yeah, they broke. They pretty much broke.
Yes, Dodger, Microsoft has unlimited money because, AI hasn't been causing problems for their employees.
No, not at all.
Employees didn't get their bonuses, so there's money saved there.
Plus Windows, plus Microsoft and Windows.
Oh no, we were talking about the detrimental effects of things as a joke, not of products they're selling.
Yeah.
So yeah, like AI not causing $1,000 worth of damages because, employees get laid off because AI is built into Microsoft products, or the fact that bonuses were not to be had. Layoffs happened. So yeah, Microsoft has unlimited money. Also, it's just too, Microsoft just ain't got shit. They just don't have anything.
Yeah. As we've discovered, that Friday.
So now I can play. Well, actually, I could have played Pentiment on Game Pass, but hey, now it's on GeForce Now. But yeah,
Pentiment's not bad. I've played that.
I wonder if they'll let you, like, for games that may already be on GeForce Now that may be Game Pass. Well, shit, no, because I don't think there are any first title Microsoft games on GeForce Now. Anywho, speaking of Game Pass, these are the games that are coming soon. FIFA 23. I'm sorry, so yeah, FIFA 23 is available now.
Now.
Eastern Exorcist coming to console and PC on now. Ghost Lore coming to console now. Planet of Lana console and PC available on day one with Game Pass on May 23rd. FIFA 23 is the current one. The next soccer game that's coming from EA, I think, is EA FC or EA Football Club. Cassette Beast on consoles May 25th. Massive Chalice cloud and console on the May 25th. Railway Empire 2 available on day one with Game Pass on cloud, console, and PC May 25th. Chicory, A Colorful Tale on console and PC on May 30th. I've also heard that Chicory is a good chill game to play. Sounds like something up Kev's alley.
I'll look into it.
And of course, leaving at the end of the month, Europa Universalis for PC, Evil Geniuses 2, World Domination, FIFA 21, Floppy Nights. Damn, that was not in there long.
No.
Oh no, and Lawnmowing Simulator is finally leaving Game Pass. Luckily, I have that on the Epic Store.
And I also have the review copy for that too. I'll have to stream that one day.
It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, it's really
Isn't there
good,
multiplayer
yeah.
for that? We should run a business together.
I'll double check that, but yeah, we should.
And of course today, if you called me earlier, I was covering the Humble Game Showcase 2023, bringing new info on Stray Gods, Breeze in the Clouds, and more. That show was 30 minutes. It started, it ended, and I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do for an hour and a half? I should ask Bard to write my business plan. Did you make that joke earlier today? Of course, Wizards of Legend 2 was announced, developed by Dead Mage, the folks behind Children of Morta. Hashtag Blood, coming out in 2024. Superland 6 Inches Under, the follow-up to the 2019 Metroidvania style game, had a drop. Surprise drop today. The demo is live on Steam along with the game. But, and get this, it's on Game Pass.
Yep.
Superland is on Game Pass. 6 Inches Under is on Game Pass. Superland, I think, was also on Game Pass, and I missed it because, like, it's whatever. I don't think I'm interested in that game. Saw that game on the showcase. So you know what? I should check it out. Also, you all said I should check it out. We should download it while we're sitting here waiting for something to do. Shout out to the devs coming through, or at least people who worked on the game coming through and helped me get through that demo. So now I'm all in. So yeah, if you have Game Pass, Superland 6 Inches Under is available right now. But I would also say, I don't know, wishlist it or buy it on Steam if you can, because things go away on Game Pass. Cataclysmo. Oh wow, so they made that Mage Seeker game, which should be out now. And Lost Skies, a cooperative survival adventure for 1 to 6 players, where they showed a cartoon and then at the last second, they're like, oh, here's what the game looks like with 3D art. I'm like, why couldn't y'all just show that? That looks cooler than this cartoon you showed. But,
yep.
I did make this a joke earlier, and I'll run it into the ground or until SNL makes the joke and kills it. Also, they did Path of the Till Lotus, which looked pretty cool. And Breeze in the Clouds. This is a game that's coming out of their Black Game Developer Fund. Let's see, I think this is the picture of, yeah. So look at this cute little dog doing little fighting moves and shit. The dog is so cool. They even had a plushie of the dog. I'm excited. I've already wishlisted this game. This was amazing. And of course they did show off, was it Stray of the Gods? Stray Gods, excuse me. Stray Gods. Yeah. A RPG musical?
Yes.
And I'm like, I will play this game if I could make it into a play. Don't sing. Just speak the dialogue. Let me choose the choices in the dialogue. Don't sing it. But of course, I think that's the whole purpose of the game, so I will never get that. And apparently, what is it? Who is it? Troy Baker. Wow, who actually does not get a credit as one of the voices in this game, but he is. But he's also the vocal director. Well, they put Laura Bailey, Lauren Lolo Spencer, Ashley Johnson, Felicia Day, Erica Ishii, and Rahul Kohli all above Troy Baker, which I guess you love to see it because this is a list of mostly women or femme presenting folks and a brown brother and a brown brother. I know, right? Troy Baker is no longer the main character in every game. Laura Bailey is. And what is Laura Bailey famous for doing? Like, that name sounds really familiar. Was she Ellie?
But the voice actor?
Yeah. That's Ellie, right? Okay, so Ellie from The Last of Us 2. I'll be really embarrassed.
Laura Bailey?
Yes.
Abby.
Oh. Who did I think was Abby? She made her anime debut as Kid Trunks in the Funimation dub of Dragon Ball Z.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Did not see that coming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Abby, definitely right there. Just right here.
Yep.
Chun-Li.
Yep. If I am thinking about Chun-Li's voice, I am thinking probably maybe I think maybe that weird
This is like Street Fighter 5 Chun-Li.
I'm trying to think, like, when would they need Chun-Li to speak? Or unless you're talking about like the grunts.
4 or 5. Marlene Angel. Who is Marlene Angel?
Yeah.
Blue Gender? I've never seen that anime. Oh, also who's a part of Stray Gods? The voice actress of Motoko Kusanagi. Gang gang.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was about to say Mary Elizabeth Winstead, but no, that's Ramona Flowers from Scott Pilgrim.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I can't remember her name. Shit, who else? Yeah, but yeah, so that was a Humble Game Showcase. Definitely check that out. There are some games that are available right now, or at least one game that's available right now. Streaming news. In more Twitch Sherlocking news, Twitch launches a new alerts feature. Excuse me. So now you don't have to use the likes of Streamlabs or Stream Elements for your alerts. you can just use Twitch to give you alerts. You okay, Sin?
I'm good.
You sure? It seems like just something's just bothering you a little bit. You should get it out. Just
I'm safe.
we're good. Let it free, man. Just let go.
No, we're good.
You sure?
We're good.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Look. Even the chest is saying with your whole chest. With the fan.
No, we're fine.
All right. Well, I'm gonna close this X. You close this tab. You sure?
Do it. Close the tab.
All right. Kev, do you want him to go? I don't like how Major is asking this question whilst recording it in 4K. Look, I'm not the one over that's in there just twitching like, Look, somebody was fidgeting. I thought they had something to say. Look, he's on my channel. He wouldn't get affected. It would be me. Hey, I like to give people the platform, just give them the space to be them, But all right.
Major ops right now out here about to train his iPhone on my voice out here for the next 15 minutes.
No, because I would rather use my voice. In software and hardware updates, make sure you update iOS 16.5 iPad OS 16.5 and Mac OS 13.4. It will address 3 actively exploited vulnerabilities, but it actually patches so much more. So please go out there. The updates were released today. Make sure you patch yo shit. And of course, free play days for this weekend. XCOM 2, The Division 2, Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr Ultimate Edition. What in the fuck even? And Warhammer Chaos Bane Slayer Edition Xbox Series X and S. Of course, they are available right now. They were made available Thursday, May 18th at 12:01 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time and will be lasting until Sunday, May 21st, 11:59 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And of course, they'll be on discount. Well, they just ended up going through a whole bunch of Warhammer games, huh? Oh, wait, no, this was back from June 3rd, 2021. Don't mind that article. Oh, apparently Chaos Bane will not be on sale. But Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr Ultimate Edition will be $30 off. Tom Clancy's Division 2 will be $450. There's updates coming out for it. And who knows, the Ubisoft event is calendar. Where is my calendar? It's Monday, June 12th. So I don't know, if you grabbed a copy of the Division 2 right now, you might get some updates that, could be useful when you buy this game. And XCOM 2 is $3. So, games. And of course, you can grab 8 Steam games for only $10 for a limited time through the Fanatical bundle. You can build a bundle. They got portable bundle. Look, you can build your own Steam Deck bundle. Got a killer bundle. A Bethesda VR bundle. Build your own Quest VR bundle. 2 games for $1. Mystery Steam Deck bundle. You can build your own Breakout bundle. They got bundles. You got bundles.
Mm-hmm.
And look, all before 11 p.m. How about that? 2 hours for tech news and like 30 minutes for games.
Mm-hmm. Sailed through it.
It wasn't as much bad shit to get through in games.
No.
It wasn't much bad to get through. That's the thing. It wasn't just honestly, I think what it was is Ryan, that ad. That horrible ass Twitter ad.
Yeah, that was a terrible ad. Jesus Christ. Like, I don't know who about to get sued, but I feel like Musk gonna be in it too. And
nobody will have to pay because the disclaimer was there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's because somebody gonna settle. Somebody gonna settle for undisclosed sum.
Not undisclosed. You know something? I hope they settle for an undisclosed sum and then immediately go online and say it was this much. Y'all have fun with that information.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this person, quietly got fired.
Yep.
And by quietly, we tweeted his name out.
You ain't got to sue somebody for a lot to sue somebody for a lot. I'm just gonna let you know. Sue somebody for $1, but the lawsuit stands.
Ruin. I'm not saying that Blizzard did anything stupid. However, I'm not dignifying what Blizzard did this week.
Yeah, that particular thing that Blizzard did was dumb, but I had pretty much moved on past that.
Nobody Blizzard did something.
Yeah, but it didn't. I'm the major. It didn't affect me and it didn't offend me because I knew they were trash from the beginning, and I knew they were trash for doing for coming out with the sequel anyway.
I mean, so I'm looking at it like this. I didn't have to put money into it, so I don't care.
Right? Yeah. I too was like, the only thing I really invested in that game was $20, and that was about it. I didn't lose anything from it, and
sure she didn't gain nothing from it.
Right, and I've moved on to more fun but sweaty games. So I'm just taking the time to play the two sweaty games that I generally play, and that is like Fortnite and Monster Hunter. Yeah.
This man was about to say Animal Crossing.
I mean, to be fair, Animal Crossing is pretty sweaty.
Well, Isabel, like having to pay them loans back, bro.
Yeah, that's
man. Look, I turn on Animal Crossing, and somehow there's now a Fed in my Animal Crossing game, and they keep raising interest rates.
I get interest from my account every month, and I'm like, that cracks me up every time I see it. You got 1,000 you got 1,200 bells in interest, and I'm like, okay, all right, low yield interest account.
Yeah, I wonder how many bells I have. I've not played that game in like 2 years.
Yeah, you probably
all those fucking acorns and shit that I probably got. What was it? Acorns or stock? Or what was it? The stock market? What was turnips? Yeah, I knew it was something that would spoil. So my house is probably filled with spoiled turnips from when I tried to game that system.
And roaches.
Oh God, the roaches.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna be super roaches because they've been feeding on them turnips.
You probably gonna be like Fry when you open up that bank account for 1,000 years. Have all that damn interest.
Speaking of Fry, shout out to Futurama. They're coming out with a new season. After 10 years of being on ice.
That show that will not stay dead. Fox tried to kill it, and Adult Swim brought it back, and then it lives again.
Look, Tycho, I was one of those people who was definitely on that Overwatch train. I mean, It's blurred out now and it's out of the frame. But yes, there is an Overwatch poster behind me. Look, I can't forget about the good times I had with Overwatch.
I mean,
But that's Overwatch, not Overwatch 2.
I will never take the experience, the goodness and experiences that I had from Overwatch 1 away.
Yeah.
It's just Overwatch 2 is just like the dumpster fire that I thought that I was not even surprised that it was going to be. And like, yeah, so
I mean, to be fair though, if someone were to invite me to an Overwatch match, if someone were to invite me to an Overwatch game, I would still play though.
Nope, that'd be you on your own on that one, mate.
Okay.
That's not me.
Okay. Look, Diva still bae.
I mean, yeah, Diva still bae.
Diva still bae. Look, I'll still fucking crush Diva, babe.
Lucy's my homie, and Baptiste is a fellow West Indian, but that's not even enough anymore. That's not even enough.
It's the only FPS I'm good at. Overwatch is still the only FPS I'm good at. So like, I can't just abandon it because then it's like, well, fuck, what FPS I'm gonna play now?
Plus, there's always Paladins. I will always play Paladins. Paladins is always on there.
Nah, I can't do that.
I can do I'll do Paladins over Overwatch. Real talk.
Yeah, but imagine going about your day and someone starts talking about a pro player that plays that game. Yeah, there's that. Luckily, I don't have people who do that to me.
I don't either.
It was kind of like that when I was I mean, granted, it was in an appropriate setting. I was practicing with the rest of the Red Hat team, but that was the only place where I would hear about Overwatch players or hear about the Overwatch League.
Yeah.
But outside of that, yeah, I did not hear. I don't hear about that. I clicked into the Overwatch Twitch channel earlier today. Apparently, the World Cup is happening.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but yeah. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about Overwatch with people who wanted to talk Overwatch. I am a person who compartmentalizes a lot of shit.
Yeah.
To where it's like, if I find out you are even remotely interested, I will talk to you about that thing. But it's not like that's going to be the thing that defines my life. I have a lot of things that to certain people probably looks like it defines my life. Like there are people who probably think that, oh, he's just so into Overwatch. It's like, yeah, that was a thing I was into. But just like Extra Life, I had to kind of shed those personas.
Mm-hmm.
But anywho, I know it's not Overwatch y'all doing this weekend.
No.
What y'all got going on this week?
So you want to go first?
Like tomorrow is a night of being behind the camera and helping with game things for Enemy of My Enemy on Demiplane, and then more game times at 3 p.m. on Saturday, and then probably a chill Sunday doing absolutely nothing except for maybe cleaning the house and listening to Lipstick Lover by Janelle Monáe on repeat for the next 2 days. If you have seen it, you already know. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and upgrade your life real quick.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. That was one of those. This song is for the gays. You are allowed to appreciate, though, and there is quite a lot to appreciate that video.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And those of you who have seen it already know and can just say amen.
Amen.
Hey, what is this again?
Either say amen or on my way, one of those two things.
Go look at that, Mage.
That's why I asked, what is this again? So I can look it up. I missed that part.
It is a song called Lipstick Lover by Janelle Monáe.
Yep. And then go look up another. And
it's Andre Simone showed up.
Yep. And then also go look up the other video with Janelle Monáe. Yeah. I made my day that day.
Is she lying on an ass?
Sure is.
Yep.
So-
this. I don't feel like this will break terms of service. I do want to share what this is on Google.
Yeah.
When you look it up, like that is
So I
clearly
am
her laying on an ass there.
I mean, we share links, but you know.
Look, I feel like that is within terms of service.
Yeah.
So all I'm gonna say is I am also excited for that vinyl to drop, which I've already put in my order for, come the 9th of June. So there's that, and then the other stuff that I'm gonna be working on is just doing more things for my personal enjoyment. Trying to work on a new habit this week where after I try to have meals away from the desk, even during my working hours, and then when I am done, I take a little walk around the building and come back. Right? Just trying to get a little bit more movement in my day, because for one thing, we were asking what Sim's gonna be up to this weekend, but y'all get a story. So I left the house today shortly after having lunch to go take my little walk around the building and ran into the maintenance guy. The maintenance guy is really cool. We met when I first moved here because I put in a work order for someone to replace a light bulb, and he came up and we got to know each other. And he is like the captain of encouragement. If he sees me out of because I will just stay in the house and not leave. Because I'm like, there are people outside. Why do I need to be out here? Although I'm mellowing out with that because the weather's getting warmer and now I want to be around people. But every time he sees me outside, he makes it an event in the best of ways. So he was like riding with a little cart with a property manager and sees me and like immediately pulls over to give me like several high fives. And it was kind of like, that's my boy outside the house. I'd love to see it. Encouragement from Black people, nothing like it. That's all we can say about that. The other thing is I'm finally finishing the 2 books that I borrowed from the library because I know they're tired of asking me for their book back. So we finished The Four Loves by C.S. Lewis this week, where he basically takes out of the many terms in Greek that are translated as love in English, he picks 4 of them and talks about them. It's really cool. It's like reading a conversation. It's like having a conversation with an old friend. And that's what I like about his writing style. The other book that I'm reading is a book called Shouting in the Fire by Dante Stewart. And I will tell y'all what the content of that book is like when we're here next week, if I finish reading it by then. But I'm going to try to see if I can get that book read and return to the library before the next time y'all see me here with the Tech Talk crew.
Yep.
And that's it. That's all the stuff that's going on around here. So Kevin, it's your turn.
Yes. So probably gonna be tomorrow's probably gonna be run errands, go to Lowe's and sort out the whole like needing a battery for my lawnmower, so probably start the ball rolling to get taking my yard back again after being 3 weeks without it, and trying to squeeze some time to enjoy a few of my Father's Day presents that I got. So I was showing Major and Sin earlier before we started the podcast, but I got some Father's Day presents. Shout out to the homie Joders. Decided that I got her something for Mother's Day, and so she was like, what give me the wish list. I'm gonna send you something. So she sent me a few things I had on my list, and one of them on my list was the complete series of Thunder the Barbarian on Blu-ray, which I'm happy about. This has to be one of my favorite shows from like the 70s and 80s, Hanna-Barbera. So I love this. It's a good show. It's like imagine like a post-apocalyptic Conan, and this is pretty much Thunder the Barbarian. And then the next one she sent me was this Classic Penguin Marvel collection for Black Panther, and it's kind of like basically all of his appearances in Marvel Comics in the 60s. I think it also starts with I believe it starts with. Hold on. It starts with Fantastic Four 52, July 1966. So basically, breaking down that, basically a black king from an unconquered nation that is scientifically superior to the Western nations in the 60s. And yes, the hoteps will tell you, but Black Panther was made by white men. But that pretty much shows you right there that even white men had the Africans on deck when they created T'Challa. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm going to be reading that. Also, here's a bit of a gift for myself. It's called Clock Striker. This is a independently made anime series that has it's the first anime that has a black femme presenting protagonist, as you can see right here. You know, I like it. I haven't read it yet because time and stuff and things, so I'm hopefully be able to take some time during my weekend and sit down and read this. I've also read a few pages of this, and probably find some time to watch some Thundar, and because I quote this show a lot and be like, who can throw a man of your size so easily? So yeah, quote it. So I'm very happy, and probably playing another game that I got today called Mountain Core. And maybe seeing if I could squeeze in some Final Fantasy remake, because I kind of fell off of that. But again, time and games and reasons and all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, that's what I got going on. Oh, and my baby graduated first grade, so I was up there with the telephoto lens, taking pictures. Everybody else had their measly little camera phones, and I had my DSLR going.
See, anybody else who would say that, I bet you I can beat you with my iPhone and taking better pictures. But knowing you, I feel like I can't. I'd have to bring out my mirrorless and be like, all right, bet, let's go.
Yeah, because I mean, that T5 was working, babe. That T5 was working hard, baby.
I could beat you with my T3.
Yep.
Not even the I, just the T3, son. I'll bring out my
T3.
DSLR.
I got that long telephoto lens though, bro.
Oh, I got one too. What's up?
Bro. But yeah, that was. So yeah, I was tearing up. Baby was tearing up. Baby was like, I don't want to go to school. I want to leave school. I said, ma'am, nobody's taking you out of school. We just wanted to say hi. We love you. Congratulations for graduating the first grade. Now stand in front of this palm, stand in front of this fern, so we can take this. Calm her down because you thought she was for the go.
Yeah, I forget that
Go
my son
home.
is graduating kindergarten this year.
Yeah, butterfly kisses at night. I'd be like, I looked at Tasha and it says they get so big. I remember when you were this tall. Now you're this tall. So yeah, and yeah, that's what I got going on. Hopefully reading and coloring and resting. That's why I hopefully be able to do this weekend.
Let's see, on my end of things, you know what? I was gonna do a major plays tomorrow. I think I might cancel that because I still have to. I gotta get this PC moved. We got a stream rally event going down, so I guess I don't want to have to deal with trying to edit shit and then having to move shit immediately after the fact. So yeah, let's not make more work for myself. I guess there's still some finishing touches for the family reunion that I'm still kind of in charge of. Even though I won't be there. Should probably tell some people that I won't be there. Yeah. And then Sunday I might go out to the homie's comic convention. He's doing a comic convention for Black comic book artists. Ooh. So I said I was gonna go. It is free to the public, but everything kind of got scheduled on the same fucking weekend. Lucky for him. Well, not lucky for him. Lucky for me, not for him. For me, his convention is Saturday and Sunday, so I should be able to head out Sunday to check out his event, see what's going on there. Eventually I got to get back to streaming. I've got to get back to playing some Jedi Survivors, even if that means I am playing that, even if that means I am playing it offline, because the date is fast approaching. The end of the month is almost here. Also, I just now noticed that my cursor was here. I don't know why, but it is. Anyway, I'm now done being distracted by my cursor. So yeah, there's that. And that's pretty much it for the week. So yeah, possibly some streaming. Oh wait, no, there is definite streaming next week. Oh shit, I forgot. Because calendar, where is my calendar? Next week, next Wednesday specifically, there is a PlayStation showcase at 4:00 p.m. Eastern. So I will try to be here at 4:00 or as close to 4:00 as I can, preferably before 4:00, so we can be ready to get all of the event. But just know that I might even set up the stream just to kind of let the PlayStation broadcast go until I show up back home from my son's school. It's all right, I'm here. Let's go. I don't know why somebody wants to hold an event at 4:00 on a Wednesday. Like, Sony, no, it's not a physical event. You could literally press play on this. Why 4:00? Normally it was at 5. Normally these events happen at 5. Why is it at 4? I'm upset. Anywho, that's all I've got. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for May 18, 2023. Next week will be a Thursday Plays.
Yeah, it will be.
And Kev, what game are we not playing next week?
Apex.
Kev, what game are we not playing next week?
Redfall.
There you go. Because that was originally on the docket.
Yeah, we're not playing. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're not playing that now. Yeah, no.
But why not Apex? Because
nope.
Sin gets upset when we play Apex and we don't include him.
Wow. Why am I? See how I'm in it? Why am I in it? But also,
exactly.
But am I lying?
Yes, but also, if y'all want to play Apex next week, I'm fine with that.
I don't.
Kev decided that you want to play Apex next week.
No, Kev does not want to play Apex.
I was
thinking, is either Space Lines or Unrailed.
I don't know what either of these games are, so I probably don't have them.
If you got Game Pass, we can do Space Lines. Or Sin, do you have Unrailed on Epic?
I do not.
Dang.
Like, the thing is, I can get either, but I don't have either of those two things.
Yeah, I don't think Unrailed is expensive to acquire.
Now, but do you have Game Pass though?
I should.
Okay.
So Space Lines.
So we can do Space Lines. But like I say again, just as Sid says, he can get either. So if we do Space
Lines, if it's easier to, it makes it easier on all of us because we have that game. We all have that game.
I am definitely down the clown with Space Lines. Yes.
Oh,
Also,
okay.
this is-
You know, like we have an enthusiastic yes for space lines, and that I think settles it for me.
Also, because see, I'm gonna bring this up because somebody said that I was not enthusiastic about space lines when it was initially brought up months ago.
I didn't say you were enthusiastic about it. I said you were ducking it.
And I said, no, I wasn't. I wasn't. And I pulled out the receipts on his ass. Like, no, that was said was like, I don't know about this game, but like to the extent of he doesn't know anything about it.
Because it's like I keep bringing it up, and it's like I don't see us playing it, so somebody got to be the holdout.
But it
so
wasn't
wait, hold
me.
on, wait a minute. So wait, what's Unreal? Let's go find out what this is.
So Unrailed. So did I share that clip in? I don't think I shared that clip in here. I mean, they showed off the controller, but it seems like they showed off more of that stuff today. I have not taken a look at it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, you're over here building a little trade track.
Yes.
Oh, it's fun.
It's very simple. It is a very simple game.
Yeah.
Until it's
Wait a minute. You said this was expensive.
I said it wasn't. It's not expensive.
Okay. Well,
I think we have it on Epic, right?
I mean, I've got it on Epic and Steam.
Okay. I think I have it on. I have it on Epic.
So okay, so Sin has seen Unrailed. What are you leaning?
It's cute.
What are you leaning? What are you leaning towards, Unrailed or Space Lines?
Is Space Lines one word or two?
It's Space Lines from the far out, but yeah, I think Space Lines is one word.
Yeah, like bus lines, airlines.
That one is like Overcooked, but not as many things are wholly dependent on another person,
Right.
which made me like it a lot more.
And it's roguelite, so
To tell you the truth, I enjoy Unrailed more than Space Lines, but they're both equally fun.
I mean, I'm down to clown with either because I have both. So
okay, so looking at them, just because I am I am me, like I like them both, but I think I like Unrailed more between the two.
Yay!
I'm good either way.
Look, we both win. Like we all win regardless. But I don't know. Like secretly, I wanted Unrailed to win.
Like to be fair, I am glad that we have decided early on time the game for next week instead of being like, all right, guys, what we gonna play Monday? What we gonna play Tuesday? What we gonna play Wednesday? What we gonna play? How about this game? Okay.
But
I'm glad that we have
It's like the
decided
Thursday
this
right
now.
before. Like,
Yeah.
it was like just minutes before we go live. I guess we could play Unrailed.
Right. I didn't even like the funny part. I didn't even know we were going to play Unrailed until we were playing it, and then I'm like, well, let me download it. Do I have it? I have it. Let me go download it.
No. See, we didn't know we were playing Unrailed until like I had to do an emergency pivot.
Yeah, and then I'm like, so
because
that
was the day I was supposed to play Star Wars.
Right, and we were just going to chop it up with you.
Yeah, and it was just busted. So I was like, all right, look, I need to do something. So Unrailed.
So it was like Unrailed, guys, and I'm like, thought we were chopping. Oh, okay.
No, this game is busted.
Do I have this?
It's like I was like, no, this game is fucking busted. I do not want to play this game.
And then I was like, do I have this game on Epic? Hold on, let me check. And of course I did because I have all the games.
Speaking of Epic, Death Stranding is available for free this week.
Yep, I got that too.
I got that back on Christmas.
I have all the games. I basically like if it's free, I give it here because you never know because it's free and I don't have to do nothing else for it.
Listen, free games are going to be what keeps me afloat until Silk Song comes out, so that's fine.
Wow.
And that's gonna be a
Also,
long time.
speaking of Silk Song, I think that Breeze game. No, it wasn't Breeze. It was the one I think with the Japanese folklore from the Humble showcase. I think you would like that, Tim.
Okay.
Because it looked like the knight from Hollow Knight doing acrobatic things in the air with enemies and shit. So I was like, yeah, that looks kind of like
What game is this, you said?
I can't remember what the name of it is now, but it was like a game that featured like Japanese folklore.
Look that up.
Okay. If you find out what that is, I would like to know.
Let's see here.
Was it Bow Path of the Teal Lotus?
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Drop me a link to that, please.
But yeah, so that's it for the show. We're done. We're out of here. I love you all, but I gotta go. I have to go. I have to get out of here.
Peace.
Also, Merge, I can only compare to what I've seen from Microsoft. Sony seem limited, to be honest. Yeah, oh boy, something is wrong with that EO site. I gotta fix that. Yeah, something is fucking flapping. But yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. Next week, we'll be playing Unrailed. It's gonna be a good time. More clips shall be had. But yeah, thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for May 18, 2023. The last show until the hiatus next week. Taking possibly 6 weeks off because I don't know when I'll be back from anniversary times.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thank you for rocking with us. We'll see you next week. Of course, y'all could have been anywhere in the world watching any streaming, or could have been playing, could have been reading the tech and gaming and streaming nugs yourself, but you said, no, thank you. AI isn't about to ruin my life, and I need to know what they're up to. So we come here for the nugs. And for that, I said thank you. Appreciate that. And I love you for it. And all I've got left to say is peace out. I love you.
Wakanda forever.
I was backwards. I love you and peace out.
Forever Wakanda.
Bye. We getting out on time, baby.
You love the vibes.